games. They lost their first game to New Bear. They're averaging over 50 points a game. It's going to put some extra pressure on both teams' defenses today.
Well, our defense has played extremely well up to this point in the season, primarily because we have absolutely shut down the run for the teams we've played. When they can't run the ball and they're forced to throw, then our pass rush has been exceptional. If we can get that exceptional pass rush today, it will mark good things for the Bears to happen. If we don't get as good a pass rush, then, and Wells has time to sit back there in the pocket, it's going to be a little different story. But the Bears can control the ball maybe a little bit more with the ground game in this one, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Bears to really come out and do what they've done the first 3 games, and that's try to run the football and throw the ball as we like, and when we want to, and do it effectively.
So fans, get ready. Pull up a chair, get ready for this game as we bring it to you, Lenoir-Rhyne and Tusculum. We'll take a break and come back with our starting lineups, and we'll get set for the kickoff today. The Bears and the Pioneers right here on the Bears Sports Network.
Our decision as a conference last Thursday to cancel the spring season was not made lightly.
Back here between the bricks as we get set for the championship game, LR and Tusculum. Jack, one thing we didn't talk about as much just a moment ago is Lenoir-Rhyne comes in with a large winning streak. I think one of the largest winning streaks in regular season history in football, 23 in a row. They won a lot of games in a row here at Moret Stadium, but Tusculum coming in, they haven't been in the championship hunt since way back in 2007, 2008. So they're playing for a lot right now and trying to get back into one of the top teams in the conference.
This is a serious makeover type season for Tusculum. This is a team that we would not have seen until next year, probably. At least all of them together. This is a different football team, and Tusculum, as you're saying, this is an extremely important game for Tusculum and for Lenoir-Rhyne because it's a shortened championship, but it's a championship nonetheless in the conference for this year, the 2021 academic year, I guess is the way it'll be looked at. But Tusculum has sort of reloaded. They've got a top-flight quarterback, maybe as you mentioned earlier to me, this might be the 2 best quarterbacks in Division II, or right up there at the top of the ladder with the 2 best quarterbacks in the division. So it's going to be a heck of a football game, I think. I think Tusculum is better than people give them credit. They lost to Newberry, their only loss of the year. The only thing I really am disappointed, we weren't playing Catawba today, and they weren't playing Carson Newman. Because I'd really like to see Tusculum-Carson Newman game to see how that game would turn out before we played the winner next week, assuming we had beaten Catawba, and you think we probably could have done that.
Boy, when you look at what they have accomplished in coming in, I've always thought that Tusculum has been a program over the last few years. They've had the right guys in place, except at the quarterback position. And when having a Rogan Wells now in here, they are in position. They got some other transfers also from Valdosta State, and they've loaded up on some guys. And looking at their offensive line, they're all over 300 pounds. So they're going to be a formidable unit for that Bear defense. And the Bear defense playing well. In fact, both teams are playing well defensively because Tusculum's head coach, Jerry Odom, has a defensive background. And, of course, the Bears' defense is playing mighty well as well. And both teams giving up less than 20 points a game, while the offenses are averaging over 40. So you got to believe that the defense will have a lot of pressure on themselves tonight.
Yeah, and Tusculum is, as we talked about in the pregame a little bit, Tusculum's a little bit of a throwback to the team that we used to see. Tusculum would come in here, and they didn't play great on defense, and they didn't have a great running game, but you knew they were going to throw it 60, 65 times a game, and they were probably going to get 350, 400 yards on you through the air because they were really good at throwing the football. But they didn't do some of the other things as well. Coach Odom came in, and he tried to change that mindset. Let's play defense. Let's go out and see if we can run the ball a little bit. And now that they have the quarterback, as you mentioned, the transfer from Valdosta State, who has been a top-flight quarterback. And I think one year I was thinking I remember seeing in some research that he had been either the first or second-string quarterback for the NCAA Division II All-American team. So he's a top-flight player.
Led Valdosta State to a national championship in 2018. It's funny, Lenoir-Rhyne lost, gave up 61 points to Valdosta in that week back in December of 2018. The following week, they played Notre Dame College, coached by LR current head coach Mike Jacobs. And actually, I think Notre Dame held the lead at halftime against Valdosta before they came back and went on to win and the eventual national championship. Again, the head coach for the Tusculum Pioneers, Jerry Odom, University of Florida grad, overall record 22-24, while the Bears head coach Mike Jacobs has an impressive record, 45 wins and 8 losses. And it's only been a small sample size, Jack, in 3 games, but you got to really be impressed with the transition head coach Jacobs has had on putting his stamp on the program in just three games.
Well, we haven't had actual game action to prepare our team, but we've had a lot of practice time since last summer through the fall and not knowing exactly when things were going to get going or if they would get going. So this team has had a lot going on together, but they haven't had a lot of game action until this spring, and it has pulled together. And Coach Jacobs will say the same thing, I'm sure. Give a lot of credit to the players because this has been difficult to go through all they've been through in practicing and everything. And the one thing that I told you earlier today when we were discussing it, the thing that has really impressed me the most is they have tremendous enthusiasm. Our team has tremendous enthusiasm for playing the game right now.
As you can see, the Bears are getting ready to come out onto the field. This was expected to be a homecoming crowd this afternoon. Turns into the first ever South Atlantic Conference Championship game. As you can see, the Bears are in all black with the Cardinal helmets. Captains are in the center of the field. Grayson Willingham, along with Curtis Feeney and Eric Jackson and Amari Houston. And we'll see the toss of the coin coming up, and Tusculum has won the toss, and they're going to take the football. So the Bears are going to play on defense first, and we'll give you the starting lineups for that defense in just a couple of seconds. Again, Tusculum's offense coming in, averaging 50 points a game in their last 3 games, and they have played 4 total already. Lost and only scored 6 points, losing to Newberry 21-6, and then came back with hung 50 on 3 straight games. They average that amount of yardage of over 500 yards and almost 400 yards passing through the air. The Bear defense has been stout so far this year in this shortened season. Coming into this game, the Bear defense only giving up 18 points. Tusculum's averaging 50 over the last 3. Again, something's got to give. Let's give you the starting lineups now for the Bears. Up front today will be Quentin Hayes, the senior out of Powder Springs, Georgia. Rashad Yelding will be the defensive tackle, filling in for the injured Dan Luba, and he will start at tackle, the sophomore out of Daphne, Alabama. Amari Houston back, and the senior had a big sack against Wingate last week out of Fountain Inn, South Carolina. And Zeke Nance gets another start, sophomore defensive end from Calhoun, Georgia. Up front, the linebackers, they've had fantastic play by the linebackers. A couple of newcomers, John Ross May, a freshman out of Johns Creek, Georgia, along with freshman Percy King out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, a transfer from Ohio Dominican. Leads the team with 3 interceptions. Starting at linebacker, Preston Joseph will also get the starting nod as well. On the inside, the senior from Brunswick, Georgia. Cedarius Kelly, along with Chris Brown, J.P. Palmer, and Eric Jackson will be the secondary. Tusculum will receive open end here at Moretz Stadium. They are in white jerseys, white helmets. The crowd's starting to get into it, and it's was watching some baseball the other night, Jack. It's just great to see a crowd at any sporting event right now.
It sure is. And I'm just thinking, we have a very young team in a lot of ways. And sometimes when you play as well as we've played, you can get a little overconfident. Let's hope that doesn't happen today. This is a good football team that we're playing against. There's some veteran transfers, and special teams have been really important for the Bears in those games. So let's hope the special teams are up to it today.
Bears have a long winning streak at home. Tusculum hasn't won here between the bricks since 2008. Deep kick this time, and it goes into the end zone and a touchback. Boy, nice kick by the Bears. Jefferson Norwood, one of the seniors who will be graduating this spring, the senior kicker, booting it in the end zone. So here we go, Tusculum with this offense led by Rogan Wells out of Fort Mill, South Carolina. Graduate transfer from Valdosta State. He's averaging almost 353 yards through the air, 12 touchdowns so far this spring.
And as you said, Juju, in the lineups, this is a big, stout offensive line. Their job is to keep people off of Rogan Wells and let him throw the football.
Threw for a career high last week in their win over Limestone. Back to pass, short drop, and he'll dump it off there to the 29. Hauling it in is Torrey Ponder, sophomore out of Moultrie, Georgia.
Some people run to throw, some people throw to run. I think Tusculum, I just opening up right there, that was just the kind of pass you'll see in an opening game when they just want to let you know, hey, we're probably going to throw the football. Try to get you thinking that way so they can open up a run somewhere, during the course of the game.
Wells is 6'4", 230, and a pretty good runner, too. 2nd and 5. There's a flea flicker. He steps up in the pocket, downfield, high throw. It is caught. Reception again by Ponder. Nice catch by Ponder across midfield, and a first down for the Pioneers.
That answers one of my questions, too. I was wondering if they were going to try to, maybe, hold some things back for the fall. They weren't going to show everything, but that shows you right there they're ready to play.
There's a running play up inside. T.J. Jones gets it. Georgia Military College transfer from Lakeland, Florida. They have, speaking of Tusculum, have a lot of guys from Florida on their roster and a lot of kids from Georgia. Not as many from Tennessee.
They go where they need to go to get players. The same thing the Bears have done. They've recruited locally well and North Carolina, but they're not afraid to go to Georgia and Ohio and Pennsylvania and get players.
Jerry Odom, University of Florida graduate, and coached at Jacksonville before he came to Tusculum. Quick drop, plenty of time, cross the field, high throw, incomplete. Intended for Parham, I believe that's number 9. Yes, it is. Justin Parham, another transfer from Valdosta State, again out of Tarpon Springs, Florida. Sophomore, incomplete, high throw that time from the quarterback.
Yeah, and he was open, too. That was just not a good throw by Wells. He's an accomplished passer, and you can see exactly what my biggest concern is. He stayed in the pocket a good 3, 4, 5 seconds with no pressure whatsoever on him. If he can do that all game, he's going to be tough.
4 of their 5 offensive linemen over 300 pounds, including their center, freshman, 315. Bears going to bring some pressure this time. Quick throw over here to the flat, breaks the tackle, and running down the sidelines and a first down. Good throw and catch. Belanger on the junior out of Green Cove Springs, Florida, with the catch and a first down for the Pioneers.
A well-prepared team. You could see right off the bat they saw stunt coming. They saw pressure coming. They had the play called already in the huddle for it. A quick throw to the outside with the pressure coming. They got it off without any problem.
Bears send 4 this time, have it covered. Flag down. Wells just fires it out of bounds over there and see what the flag's about. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. It's underway here.
It's going to be a holding penalty on number 7. Is that 76? They have the big guy right there. 70? Is that 70 or 76?
I think it is 70, yeah. It is the right tackle.
It was right out in front of everybody. We had a defender there that was coming loose, and he just reached out and grabbed him because Wells did have enough pressure that time to make him step up into the pocket. So Bears get a break right off the bat.
Christian Culture is the man they called it, flagged him on, the sophomore out of Thomasville, Georgia. So that'll bring up 1st and 20. Just underway, first 3 minutes or so of this football game. First and long now, man in motion. Sets, and they'll take the shotgun snap. Rogan Wells back to pass, dumps it off to Jones again, breaks a tackle, slips a couple of tackles before he's knocked down at the 25. T.J. Jones, who has 8 touchdowns so far, and he has been able to score 3 of them. He's a pretty good threat, Jack, out of the backfield. He caught some passes last week, 7 of them against Limestone, and showed again why he's such a threat.
And what you can see right there is a veteran quarterback. He never panicked. He stepped up in the pocket. He dodged around, and he knew where to go. He knew where to throw the football in that situation.
2nd and 15. Wells will keep it. This time the Bears get the pressure. And again, from the inside, Percy King and Quentin Hayes in on the pressure that time. And he actually picks up maybe 1 yard. It'll bring up, they'll bring it a loss of 1, 3rd and 16.
Scouting probably told Tusculum that in this situation the Bears would sit back, 2nd down and 15, that they would sit back and play defense. So they went with a quarterback draw, an excellent call and a safe call, but the Bears had a stun on from the outside, and that foiled anything that they were trying to do there with the quarterback draw.
Big play for the defense here, and flags fly everywhere. That'll be a procedure call against Tusculum. Today's game on the Bears Sports Network being presented by MBA Roofing. Third and 21 now. Kind of bunched the formation here. The left hash. Wells. Pressure, here he comes. Joseph with the sack. Preston Joseph coming from his linebacker position. Came in, had a big touchdown last week against Wingate, and comes in with the sack. That may throw Wells out of field goal range of the team.
Yeah, I was just thinking what a veteran quarterback would do, but boy, right there, that was not a veteran quarterback play. You got to throw that ball away and keep your field position. And as you stated, they may have had an opportunity for a field goal.
Big sack by the senior out of Brunswick, Georgia, Preston Joseph.
The chain guys moved the chain for some reason. I guess they thought that it was the Bears' ball. But
yeah,
they moved the
down.
chain, so they didn't realize if there's a penalty on this play or anything else. First down could come out of this play or no first down. Just depends. But that's a great stand by the Bears defense, and they needed to do that. You don't want the opening or salvo of the game to come from the other team and drive it down the field. And they made some good plays on that drive, did Tusculum.
43 straight games now the Bears have recorded a sack. There's a punt. And it rests right there on the goal line. Right on the goal line.
Well, but where it was originally touched, the ball should come out.
To the 20?
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
The kid, it's in the end zone. Well, what happened, he actually touched the ball at about the 3-yard line, and that's where the guy threw the beanbag. That's why I knew it was going to come out. He threw the beanbag to the first touching. So even the ball that did hit down there, you'll see, watch where he touches it right here. See? He was about the 3-yard line when he first grabbed it. He was right there.
Good camera work, folks. So the Bears get it offensively for the first time this afternoon. The LR offense comes out with Grayson Willingham leading the charge. Approaching some big records in the LR record book in passing. Quick drop over here, caught, complete to the 25-30. Across the 40, still going.
Out of bounds.
Knocked out of bounds. That's Ryan Carter,
Close.
Who's become, I believe, one of his favorite targets. Ryan had a big game last week against Wingate. That time just a simple pattern, and he broke some tackles right in front of the LR bench, picked up a good gain.
Big plays come from what? Outstanding talent and poor tackling. What's the tackling right here? See, you can't miss that guy right there. You got to make that tackle. Yeah. You got the boundary to help you. Just drive him on into the boundary.
Grab. Can't grab. Bears will take it. 46 now, 1st and 10. So Willingham's pretty close on becoming the second all-time leading passer in yardage in LR history. This time he hands it off to McGee, and the Bear running back is stacked up on the right side, and Dwayne McGee's had a fine freshman year in 3 games, the Kissimmee, Florida freshman, averaging about 150 yards on the ground, and is carried it about 30 times a game.
Bears had a lot of movement going on there. They were doing a lot of different things there to try to get Tusculum to think, what are they going to do, what are they going to do? But it turned out to be a base running play, but with a lot of periphery stuff to try to get Tusculum looking in another direction.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Again, McGee going right side, and he is stopped in the backfield.
Flag. I mean, it came in from way back, too. I don't know what it's going to be. I thought it could have been on a clip. Let's see if it's a clip or something against the Bears. But that flag came from way down the field.
Cornerback Montreal Henry, Jr. out of Tifton, Georgia. Here we go. See the replay. Yeah, I don't know if I see the flag unless it was a holding call.
Well, the guy lost the helmet right there. That might have been what it was. Our fullback there, whoever it was, 33, he may have ripped that guy's helmet off.
John Godwin, one of the tight ends for the Bears.
Yeah, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Blake Jefferson will be starting at center along with Isaac Chapman and Bryce Heidinger, the 2 guards. Xavier Jennings, a freshman out of Burns High School and here in North Carolina near Shelby. He and Ian Brinson are the 2 tackles. Godwin, as you heard, is the tight end.
Similar drives. The only difference is the Bears got their penalty in our territory. And good throw and catch.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Dre Lester on the reception.
Tusculum drove the ball down the field before they got their 15-yard penalty. We got ours when it's still in our territory, and the rains have come.
Yes, indeed. It started to rain a little bit, and that completion to Andre Lester, his 14th reception at the spring. So that'll bring up. What was the penalty call?
It was the helmet thing. I think it was personal foul.
Okay. So it's 3rd and long now. 3rd and 20. Bears keep it on the ground, and McGee will push forward up to the 38. So the Bears play it safe that time. And he'll send the punter out now is Michael Owen. Junior out of Duluth, Georgia, will punt it away.
And this is where we got to be a little bit careful with a wet ball. Long snap, punter's got to catch it, got to get it off his foot. Sometimes the shoe gets wet and that ball will slip off. Bears need a great punt right here. We don't want to give up any field position.
So it looks like the wind's blowing to the north, or the rain is blowing to the north, and that is where Owen kicks it to the north and gets a good punt off and all the way down to about the 16.
Boy, that could have been costly, that little bump right there. Thank goodness. I think the officials know the urgency of this game for both teams, and they'll be. I won't say slack, but that didn't deserve a necessarily penalty, but it did deserve a warning. I'm sure the official talked to that young man on the way off the field.
So both teams' defenses come up strong. Here's that punt over once again. A fair catch called for by Ponder. And so the offense now for Tusculum will come out for the 2nd time today. Our broadcast this year being brought to you by such fine sponsors as Southside Power and Fitness, Carolina West Wireless, and K&L Dunright. Don't forget Custom Design Group, another official apparel provider of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Check them out at lrwear.com.
I was looking at Tusculum's schedule, Juju. We're talking about the schedule for next year. They have in their game notes the 2021 Tusculum fall schedule. They open up on September 4th at St. Augustine. Win. September 11th, Chowan at home. Win. September 18th, Limestone at home. Win. September 25, Newberry at home. Possible win. Mm-hmm. They could be 4-0, and then they do have at Wingate, at Lenoir-Rhyne back-to-back. And then finish up with Wise, Barton, Catawba, Mars Hill. They could be 8-2, 9-2. Very easily if they continue to improve as they have shown this spring.
And that improvement has come on offense where they are really lighting up the scoreboard, averaging over 50 in the last 3 games. Here comes the Bear defense out for the second time. Play action, Wells throws it over here. It's caught.
I don't think he had a good look at that. It looked like it might have been, he might have got it off the ground, but the official's not in a good position to see that. It was kind of at an angle.
That is Ponder once again on the reception. Pick up of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4. Midway through the first quarter, South Atlantic Conference Championship game. Juju Phillips along with Jack Huss. Wells again, plenty of time, dumps it off inside. The Bears wrap up Jackson on the one of the players, number 11 that time, is Belanger, one of the tight ends, the junior out of Green Cove Springs, Florida. So it's going to bring up 3rd down now, 3rd and less than 3 for the Pioneers.
And again, the Bears unable to really get any pressure from the front 4 right now. And if they can block 5 on 4 and keep us out of there, Wells gets that much time, he's going to throw a completion.
Bears are showing blitz. They block it up, and Wells is going to keep it. Flag down. You get the first down, slides down at the 34.
Yeah, flag came way behind the play, but I think it's a holding penalty.
Hard to see those offensive line numbers if fans that are watching.
Yeah. It was holding. It was called by the referee in the back there too.
Here's a quick replay. Had to come over there on the left-hand side. As you saw the flag come down as Wells had already broken the pocket.
And the spot would have determined whether he made that first down. He was right on the mark, it looked like, or maybe beyond it a little bit. And again, a 15-yard holding penalty, that they just always, the 10-yard holding penalty. Those things really bother you when you're a passing team, but they don't hurt passing teams as much as they can hurt, teams that like to throw the football who can get 10 yards in a hurry.
3rd and 12, quick screen over here, the receiver, big hit by Jackson. Jackson on Justin Parham. Laid the lumber, shy of the first down.
We talked about the day at the Hall of Fame ceremony, Juju, you and I. Marcus Shuford was there and Michael Green was there, both of them having played for Coach Houston. And we talked about Duggar. And now Eric Jackson steps into that mold playing free safety just like those 3 did. Those are 3 really great defensive safeties that we've had right almost in a row.
Sure have.
Oh, bad kick.
Awful kick off the side
of his foot. Get away.
It did touch a Bear.
It did. It's their ball. And there's nothing you can do about that. That's just an absolute bad break for the Bears. We can see the replay here, but I tell you what, all he was doing his job, and the ball, it was such a bad kick, it turned out to be in Tusculum's favor. See, he's running down the field blocking, boom, here comes the ball, hits him right on the head. Number 12.
Yeah, right on the top of his helmet, the crown of his helmet, and Ryan Carter, the veteran player who caught a pass earlier in this game, he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was. That was just a bad break. There's nothing you can say about that. It's just a negative play that happens, and you got to overcome it. If we're going to win a football game like this at any point in time, whether it's in April or whether it comes in October, you'll have to overcome a few mistakes like that, and that one is one you really couldn't do much about.
So the second time here in the first quarter, the Tusculum is in LR territory. No score here. Handoff left side. That is Jones. Bears stop him. Short gain there. Bear defense against the run has been outstanding. Last week against Wingate, they held Wingate Jack to, I think it was minus 32 yards rushing in the first half and without a first down. This time Wells will throw and throw it deep. Underthrown. Oh, nearly coming up with the interception.
Whew, that's one you got to have right there. That was just a very, very poorly thrown ball, and that was a pick. That really should have been a pick.
Za'Darius Kelly, sophomore out of Greensboro, You could tell the ball was underthrown.
Yeah.
I don't know if it both quarterbacks or Wells. He doesn't have the zip on the football that, as I recall, he used to have.
Well, there's a pretty good little rain falling, and that ball is wet. They're not covering the ball up between plays, so that ball's getting wet. He didn't look like he really threw that ball exceptionally well. That's why it was so far underthrown.
3rd and long now. Timeout, Tusculum. We'll take a timeout. Come back with more. Stay with us. No score. Bears and the Pioneers. You're watching the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Back to action, 3rd and 8. Wells will step back at the 50. Across the middle, nearly intercepted. Receiver fell down. And the Bears had another chance at an interception. Good coverage that time, but the receiver, I guess Jack turned right near the first down marker and simply slipped down.
Well, you know, give Tusculum credit. There was the Bears brought a bunch of folks, but they couldn't get back there, and it just looked like his foot slipped a little bit when he went to deliver that ball. The receiver looked like he was open, and he slipped as he made his cut a little bit. One thing about artificial turf, you can play on it when it's wet, but it can be a little slippery when you try to make sharp cuts. And they don't wear long spikes anymore like you used to see. They wear short spikes, and most of them are rubber, so they don't necessarily give you the best traction.
Shepard is the punter. Fair catch called for at the 10. As DeAndre Lester calls the fair catch, so the Bear offense will be backed up now at the 10-yard line. No score here. Pioneers and Bears. You know, we talked about offenses. Bears offense averaging 40 points this spring. Tusculum's offense, 50 points in their last 3 games. Average 50 points a game. And right now we're scoreless in the final 4.5 minutes of the first quarter. So
you suggested, you know, when we started it, you know, both teams have been playing good defense. Right now, Tusculum has 69 total yards, and the Bears have 34. Of course, now Tusculum's had it twice. The Bears have only had it once.
So here comes the Bear offense. They hand it to McGee up the middle. Cuts back near the 15. Call it a gain of about 5. 2nd down for McGee. Bears leading rusher, the freshman out of Kissimmee, Florida, been taking up about 30 carries a game, and that is yeoman's work indeed. And that time he picked up 5, 2nd down for the Bear offense.
He's got 4 carries for 5 yards. You know, they've done a good job in there, Tusculum has.
This time Willingham rolls out.
Beauty.
Complete. That's Lester again.
You know, I've said this. You've heard me say it. I said it last week and the week before and the week before. He is so good in play action. You know, that was when he was playing under Drew Connick's offense. That was the majority of the passing game was play action. And he is very, very good at it. He had a good play action fake. He rolled to the outside. He looked at the first receiver. He's not there. Second receiver's wide open. He hits him right on the target.
So 1st down for the Bears again. Short drop this time again. Bears breaking some tackles. That's Carter. Picks up another reception, the junior out of Ringgold, Georgia. Jack, one thing, even though it's only been a small sample size of 3 games now, 3 into the 4th game, Grayson's completing, he's having his finest season so far, completing well over 60% of his passes coming into this year. He was only getting about 58% completion rate.
And he's getting a lot of throws just like he did right there. He's getting some, because of the run game, people are having to keep at least 7 guys inside. He's getting open. He's getting some receivers that are getting open, and he's getting the ball to them.
That time it was deflected at the line of scrimmage, intended for Carter. So an incomplete pass, second down. I believe Willingham has now moved into second place all time in total yardage as a Lenoir-Rhyne quarterback.
Well,
behind only Brian
he's coming
Bryson.
back in the fall. All those records are going to get broken.
I would
count
think
on
so.
that.
You're right.
I don't think the Bears made it.
3rd and 2, and
they didn't make nothing.
I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a 0. I tell you what, it's tough inside right now. Both defensive lines are tough against the run, so that's going to create a punting situation for the Bears.
Logan Cowherd, a sophomore out of Hiawassee, Georgia, leading the team in tackles on the inside, along with another veteran player, all South Atlantic Conference Freshman of the Year, Nelson Lewis, up front for the Pioneers. Both teams are good defensively, and there's a flag.
Yeah, somebody moved in there. I think, there was a lot of misdirection going on. We ran a guy, and that's doing things you don't necessarily on a punt, a guy running in motion back in and back out and that kind of thing. But the Bears are, sort of digging their own little bitty hole here. We just, offensively, we got to get a good drive going, get this ball. We're playing way too much on our end of the field in the first quarter.
No rhythm. That penalty will go against LR.
Now, we are kicking downwind, so that's the good thing. Of the kickoff, you remember the kickoff? Yeah. You can look at those flags down there at the scoreboard end. It's wide open down there. That wind is really behind.
End over again kick. Fair catch from Owen. Ponder with the fair catch at the 28, so that is where the Pioneer offense will get another possession to start off here. No score. Down to 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. In the South Atlantic Conference Championship game, the first ever. Hey, Tusculum coming into this game had lost 8 straight to Lenoir-Rhyne and not won in Hickory since 2008. They're going for their 3rd ever South Atlantic Conference Championship. They had some really good passing teams, Jack. You can recall some really good passing teams back in the early 2000s where they won a championship in 2003 and again in 2008.
Yeah, the Bears defensively have stood the test up to this point, but, we need another good stop. And then the offense it's about time for the offense to crank.
Wells slips, and a man is wide open running down the field. Ponder, and he is drugged down from behind by Joseph. Torrey Ponder got open behind the secondary, and it looked like that Wells slipped as he threw the football.
He did, but look, there's a huge mistake. Oh, I see what happened now. Oh, wow. The safety came up expecting. He was trying to stop a short route, and he had to run back and actually made the tackle. He came flying up at the snap of the ball to take away the inside route, and the receiver just kept running, and there was nobody back there. That's a real mistake on the secondary's part.
There's a running play up the middle. Sneaking through there is Maurice Gamillion, a junior out of Jacksonville, Florida. Gets a nice hole, pickup of about 8.
Yeah, they're starting to feel it a little bit offensively. The Bears haven't had that good feeling yet.
Bears aren't set, and they throw it across the middle, and it is knocked away, nearly intercepted. Whoa. Chris Brown nearly came up with his 2nd interception of the year. Freshman out of West Stokes High School.
That's 2 of them that Wells was off target. If he leads him, he's got a touchdown. He threw it behind him, and, man, that I thought that was picked right there. The Bears needed that. They've had 2 good opportunities to make interceptions and haven't been able to pull either one of them down.
Again, putting a freshman out on the island. Man-to-man coverage.
3rd and short.
3rd down and short. They get it to the running back on the outside, Gamillion again. And he gets the first down.
Everybody got closed down to the inside. If you see the replay, you'll notice that everybody on the line of scrimmage slanted to the inside, and the linebacker's got to come around the outside and stop that play, and he didn't get there, so it was a pretty easy run. That was a good job by the running back picking the right spot to run.
Brown again on the tackle, the right corner for the Bears. So 1st and goal now for the Pioneers, trying to get on the board. First team today, down the final minute of the first quarter. They set the formation. Back to pass Wells. Time. Cross the middle. Caught. Touchdown.
Boy,
I thought
we intercepted it for a second. I couldn't say anything till I saw him roll over with the ball in his hand. That is a fortunate twist right there for Tusculum. That ball looked like it was intercepted, but it got through there somehow.
And the touchdown by Derek Wright.
You'll see right here, right there, I thought he had it. Wow.
Wright, a transfer from Florida Tech.
And
that was Joseph again, the linebacker, nearly coming up with an interception. He's the man who dove in front.
Well, this football team, this is what worried me coming into this game. We've sort of had it our way in every game. We've got off to a good start and sort of had it our way. Now, all of a sudden, we come out and they punch us in the mouth. Now we got to come back. We got to be like Wingate or the other teams that we played, get behind. Now we have to come back. This is a great learning situation for a young football team.
7-0 in favor of Tusculum. After they march it down the field after they're getting the ball in really good field position. And they come down and score, and that big play on the pass set up that touchdown. And so the Pioneers lead it here 7-0. Again, haven't won here in Hickory since 2008.
You know what, really, and I can see this, and I bet you can too, because you've played sports. Tusculum just looks like they have confidence, and a lot of that comes from having the quarterback that they know has been through the highest levels of Division II football and played well, and they just look like they're confident. You know, they look like no matter what happens, they know they've got a guy back there pulling the trigger that can handle it. And that's what the Bears have. The Bears have looked confident because they know Grayson Willingham has been there and can handle the situation.
Rain is stopped momentarily, and the ball goes into the end zone for a touchback. So the wind and the rain that we saw earlier this quarter has ceased. We'll see if maybe the Bear offense can now, with some sunlight, can open up their offense and get back in this game down 7-0 early. Final 40 seconds of the first quarter. Bear offense again led by Willingham, who overall 25-3 as a starting quarterback in his Lenoir-Rhyne history. Passed for over 5,000 yards in his career and is now the second all-time leading rusher or passer in Lenoir-Rhyne history.
Rogan Wells is 9 of 13 for 129 yards and one touchdown. Willingham is 4 of 5 for 54.
This is McGee. Weaves his way through there, picks up good yardage, maybe another first down up to the 35.
That's the old I forgot what they called it. The Redskins used to run it. They pulled two linemen from the other side off in front of them, and they really got up the field really well that time. A T formation play. That play doesn't run as well, quite as well from the shotgun. It runs well from the T formation, and that's what they were in. Also sets up this play action pass you might see.
Here we go. And he's going to take it downfield and incomplete. He had double coverage. Somebody read your mind over there on the Tusculum side, Jack.
Yeah, they weren't, it came right back to it. Might have been better to have another play in between to get them to think a little bit more. But that was a great play action fake in there. They just covered. Lester just was covered by the corner. He had him covered man-to-man, and then the safety kind of came over at the end. And it was basically a one-receiver route. You're either going to throw it to him or you're going to throw it away.
Kellen Parsons, a freshman, was the intended target. Here's a pass that's caught for the first down. Still going. This is Lester. Drags across midfield and into Tusculum territory, and that's the final play of the first quarter. So when we come back to start the second quarter, the Bears are in business. They'll have it at the 45. Your score, Pioneers 7, Bears nothing. You're watching the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found the expert for my heart.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle. and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back at Moretz Stadium, Juju Phillips with Jack Huss. Tusculum on top here, 7-0 on a 4-play, 72-yard drive to get on the board. But the Bears had some offense the final 2 plays of this first quarter and start the second quarter now at the Pioneer 45.
Yeah, the Bears finally made the couple of plays they needed to, and Ryan Carter got a lot of extra after the catch on that last one.
Here's a pass across the middle, one-handed catch by Young. He'll get it down inside the 20. Nice catch by Derek Young for the big first down for the Bears. They're inside the red zone all of a sudden.
That's a play that the Bears ran a lot last weekend. They would ride that thing in, and what's happening is Grayson is reading the receiver. If the receiver breaks open, he pulls the ball out, and he almost had trouble getting it out. You saw that little bobble. He almost had trouble getting it out because he was ready to throw that ball to Derek Young because he could see he was breaking open across the middle. That's a play you have to have great confidence in your quarterback's ability to run that play successfully, and the Bears did.
Again, another pass. He throws it over here. Wide open is the running back, McGee. Touchdown.
Great call. Great play
call.
Action
pass, like a naked pass over there to McGee. Nobody was around, and the Bears are a point away from tying this ball game up.
The only thing that was scary about that was whether McGee got twisted around. Watch him on the replay here. When he got twisted around, I got a little worried. I said, oh, don't. Sometimes when you have to turn completely around, you lose focus on the ball. Dwayne McGee did a great job catching the football. Great play call, too, by the way.
Yes,
great
it
play
was.
Call.
58th career touchdown pass for Grayson Willingham. And another extra point by the Bears' all-time leading kicker, Chase Elbaugh. That's 110 straight extra points for the Bear kicker, and we're tied with 14:19 to go in the second quarter, 7-7. We'll be back with more. Stay with us. This is the Bears Sports Network presented by MBA Roofing.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
Fresh vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
So after Tusculum gets on the board in this ball game, the Bears respond in a hurry. Another touchdown pass for Grayson Willingham.
A great throw there and a great call by Coach Anthony Soto, the offensive coordinator. We hadn't really talked about our two coordinators that much. Anthony Soto's the offensive coordinator. Jamal Brown is the defensive coordinator. Both of them have done a remarkable job. And Soto is also the offensive line coach. And that's not really that unusual, but sometimes offensive line coaches tend to be a little more conservative. That was not a conservative call right there.
Both those guys came with Mike Jacobs from Notre Dame College. And here's a return, running right. Bears try to surround him, and down he goes. Jarvis Jones, a freshman receiver out of Fort Myers, Florida.
He ran about 60 yards to get back to the 20 because you've heard me say that many times. You can't gain yardage when you're running sideways.
No, you cannot.
He ran 40, 50 yards across the field but didn't gain much of anything. Great job by the Bear offense to come back and put one on the board and answer that quickly. Now it's time for the Bears.
So both teams score touchdowns on 4-play, 72-yard drives. How about that? And compliments of our own Mike McCree.
Mike McCree, our statistician out in the stands.
7-7 now. First time that Tusculum's been backed up a little bit on offense today. Across the middle, this time is zipped across, incomplete. I don't know if the receiver even had a chance. Raphael Williams the freshman out of Fort Lauderdale.
That was a get it to you in a hurry throw. And John Ross May was there. We were down on the field for the pregame, and we walked right by John Ross May. I was surprised. He is not a very big young fella.
Our inside backers, speed, yes, but not necessarily in size.
The big guys up front, their job is to keep them off of those 2 guys back there, and those 2 guys back there roam the field and make tackles.
2nd and 10. Wells, play action. He'll fumble the ball. Let's see, is it incomplete or is it a fumble? Now, incomplete.
He's calling it a pass, and our lineman had it. If he'd have caught that ball, it would have been an interception. I think it was number 32, the freshman.
Yeah, the freshman who's played at defensive
Andre
line.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ball popped up in the air. Let's see if it's him. Play got by me. I'm not used to that replay. It happened too fast.
Here it comes again.
Watch this ball pop up in the air.
Yeah, that's...
Now, right here it is. Right here it's where it was caught, almost caught.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, man, he almost had that ball.
Again, pass down the field. Intercepted, flag down. This is Brown weaving down there. We'll see what the flag is.
He cannot call this an offensive. He cannot call this interference. There is no way he can call it. He might call holding. Let's see if he calls holding.
And here's the replay.
See if he grabbed him when he went by. Now we can't see it. Interference. Offense. Woohoo! Boy, what a break for the Bears.
Or did they flip it? Because our defense is still out there.
Oh, he pointed against Tusculum. Yeah, I was afraid he was going to call something. But see, what I can't understand is the ball was thrown. He may have hit him, but the ball was never thrown. That's a really poor call by that official. I think the Observer today will let you know that. When the guy's running deep and the ball's thrown, it's intercepted, you don't have interference. The guy was 20 yards away from where the ball was thrown.
Yeah.
Now, had he stopped and made a cut and the ball was thrown, then he could call interference. But that's just not a real good call.
Unless it may have been a defensive holding call. And that would
he called interference.
Yeah, I know.
He gave the signal.
So first down for the Pioneers after the turnover.
Well, the penalties have been crucial against both teams, and that was crucial right there. Absolutely crucial. Bears going to have the ball at the 11-yard line.
T.J. Jones on the carry, loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11.
See, the reason I say that, the ball, he threw the flag before the ball was in the air. He doesn't know it's going to be a pass. And then the pass was thrown to a different spot than where the receiver was.
Wells down the field, throws it high.
Great pass route. Oh, man.
Shy of the first down.
They're getting together. Let's see what they say.
Or is it complete?
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
He
did not get a foot down.
Yeah, he made a great pass route, too. He came inside, stopped, dug back to the outside, and he was just about a yard short of the first down when he caught the ball, but I think the outside foot was on the line.
Let's see if the Bears dial up some pressure here. Defensive coordinator Jamal Brown, as you mentioned. Bears have substituted up front defensively. They show blitz here.
They're ready for a blitz. They got a couple extra guys in there blocking.
And here they come. Flag. Or they call a timeout.
Let's hope they did. Yep, they did. Well, I'm glad they did because Rogan Wells is going to run for a little yardage right there. All the blitz pressure was coming up the middle, and he saw it immediately, and he didn't even act like he was going to throw. He took off to the outside.
If you're going to flush the quarterback like that, you want to flush him to his left, not to his right.
Well, you want to keep him in the pocket, number one, and we had all the pressure up the middle, but somebody's got to be, even when you have a situation where you pressure up the middle, there's got to be at least one guy from each side coming from the outside to kind of fence him in and keep him where the pressure is going to be. And our inside people, our outside guy to the left over there went inside, and there was really nobody out there. He saw it immediately, too. That's, again, a veteran quarterback. He got the football, he looked, he saw the pressure, and he took off that way. He could have still thrown it if he wanted to, and, of course, then he heard the whistle, so the play's over.
So we were supposed to play Catawba today for homecoming. It's the oldest rivalry in LR history.
Would have been the 100th time.
Yes. the oldest opponent, I guess. You know the second oldest opponent is?
Tusculum.
Tusculum. Started playing the Pioneers back in 1924.
Now, not in terms of number of games, but when we first played them.
And they were without football for a number of years before they came back and joined the South Atlantic Conference, I believe, in the 90s.
Well, let's see what the Bears do here. Now, they've got one linebacker up in the line. They got one linebacker standing in the middle.
3rd down and 11. Wells, plenty of time, throws it high, and it is caught, pushed out of bounds, but short of the first.
Yeah, he's about 3-4 yards short almost.
He has been
3 yards short. Let's see what they decide to do.
Wells has been high a lot today, hasn't he?
The ball could be a little bit wetter. He could be having when you throw it high. A lot of times you're slipping off that back foot, and the ball's coming out of your hand a little bit sooner than you mean to. It's not easy to. Those guys on TV that we see on Sunday throwing that wet ball, it is not that easy.
So here comes the punting unit on, Eli Shepard. Oh, this is Andrew Cantrell. He's the punter out of Sparta, Tennessee. Nice kick. Lester fields it at his 14.
Good
and
job.
Pushed out at about the 22.
That's an excellent job. I like Lester back there catching punts. He fair caught a while ago when he should have, and he had time to catch that ball and run. He gained us about 6-7 yards right there we would not have got if he'd have fair caught that ball. Wells is 10 of 17, 138. And Willingham is 7 of 9 for 119. He's averaging 13.2 per catch, and Wells is averaging 8.1 per catch.
Southside Power and Fitness bringing us our stats of the day. And the Bear offense is now coming out at the 22. Head coach Mike Jacobs' team, 3-0 this young season. As you've seen what Grayson Willingham has tried to do, Jack, from the quarterback side, what do you see that Grayson is doing better than what maybe we've seen in the past, and what are some things that he still needs to work on?
I think he's playing. I think he's playing just exactly like we have seen him play the first few games of the season. He's doing what he does well. He's getting acclimated. The one thing I do like is he's not been a pocket passer as such because he was not required to be. He had to do it occasionally, like that West Florida game. You remember we had to throw the ball, and he had to be more of a pocket passer in that game. But, he's becoming a little more adept in the pocket. He's a great play-action thrower, and the Bears, if we can keep the running game going, then play-action is always going to be what he does best. But he's becoming a better pocket passer.
He likes his weapons as well. He's told us that in the past – he's comfortable with some of these guys like Lester and Young and Parsons, who's come on, and Ryan Carter, kind of an old reliable. He's a junior out of Ringgold, Georgia. But I've noticed that he has meshed in with some of the newer players and some of the older players, obviously being led by them. But the offense, I've been surprised that the offense has really been very smooth, even though it's been a change of offense.
It's been a change of transition, but I think the one thing that I'll be interested to see between now and the fall, if we develop a middle receiver, a tight end type guy that can kind of help in the middle of the field, that's always a great addition to any passing game when you got somebody that can run in the middle of the field and catch the ball.
Here comes McGee on the run. He's tackled at about the 22. One thing we noticed about the freshman running back for the Bears, he has quick feet. He's not very big, but, he can start and stop and change direction really on a dime, and that's been one of his strengths. Even though he's been carrying the ball 30 times a game, it doesn't seem to wear out.
And the offensive linemen love that, too, because he can make them look good. And you saw exactly what I saw. We had a great view of that right there, how quick his feet are.
7 carries for just 15 yards. Play action by Grayson. And he'll throw it to one of those tight ends, Will Neal. Falls incomplete.
Bears had a great one of our favorite plays. That was the bootleg, and the receiver he wanted to hit slipped down the field. I couldn't tell. It looked like it might have been Ryan Carter. He ran a great deep out route, and as he made his cut to the boundary, he slipped, and the defenders, being smart, just dove on top of him. So he had no receiver. He had to wait for the tight end to come across on the drag route.
Neal out of Charlotte Catholic High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. 3rd and 10 now. Grayson will look downfield, throws it across the middle. Nice catch. Breaking a tackle on the first down. That's Parsons, another freshman out of West Stokes High School in King, North Carolina. Gets a big first down for the Bears.
Grayson makes me look good here. If you see, he stays in the pocket. He reads, and the pressure is finally coming, but he gets it off. Just a great throw and catch right there by a veteran quarterback and a receiver that can run a good route and catch the football.
Those guys like to get up in the air, too. Here's a delay to McGee. Cuts around the right side, knocked down at about the 47-yard line.
It looks like Tusculum and Lenoir-Rhyne have a similar philosophy, and we heard Mike Houston talk about it this morning in his remarks when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he said when he came here, Coach Goldsmith said, Coach Houston, this is what we're going to do. We're going to run the football, and we're going to stop the run. That looks like what both teams are good at is stopping the run.
Calling it a gain of 4. Bears try deep this time.
Boy, he had an arm on him all the way down there.
Call interference.
That would have been a real easy one to call right there. Yeah, you could tell the way that our receiver was running. The defensive back had his arm on him all the way down the field.
So it's incomplete. What's Grayson now on the afternoon?
Grayson is 8 of 12, 141, 11.8 per average throw, or per attempt. Excuse me, 1 touchdown.
Grayson has started 2 games this spring, averaging about 300 yards a game through the air. Third down, he'll throw deep again. Man's open, caught it, and 15-5, and into the land of milk and honey. Touchdown for the Bears and Hakeem Meggett. Meggett, another freshman out of Moncks Corner, South Carolina. The Bears break on top with 10.5 minutes to go before the half. What a nice pass. I mean, he just dropped it in the bucket, didn't he, Jack?
Yes, he did, and it was a great play call by Coach Soto. They had 3rd and 8, so they loaded up the left side. We had that 3 bunch over there on the left, had 1-on-1 over here, and, boy, I tell you what, Meggett made him look awfully good. Hakeem Meggett, what a great route and a great catch, and then just zipped it right into the end zone.
Another one of those tall, lanky wide receivers with speed. Bears have a couple of freshmen. One of them just got on the board. Bears lead it now 14-7. Another extra point by Elbaugh. That puts him at 111. He is now 6 shy of taking the NCAA record of all-time extra points, consecutive extra points for LR. Bears on top by a touchdown, 14-7. Back with more. This is the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others.
Back here for Norwood's kickoff. And here we go. Going left this time, running with the ball, running right. Left is Williams.
I think they're guessing with the Bears which side we're going to kick it on.
Okay.
Because last time that we kicked it deep right, so they said we'll run the return up that sideline. So this time we kick it deep left, and they have to run all the way across the field, and they wind up at the 20-yard line. Same place they did on the last one. You know, Grayson has made 2 in a row pocket throws. It just emphasized what we were talking about. He sat in the pocket and looked where he needed to look, and then he raised up and he just put the ball right on the money. On a deep pass like that, when your guy's got the other guy beat, you don't want to overthrow him, but you can't underthrow in that situation. You just got to lay it out there and let him run into it. Perfect throw.
Quick pitch over here, running with Jones. Tries to cut the corner and is tackled down. That was a 78-yard drive in 6 plays. Bears converted on a big third down before the touchdown pass, and now lead it here 14-7.
J.P. Palmer had to come from the inside to make that play, and he just couldn't quite get there. That's one of the plays where your inside safety on that side of the field has got to come up and be your defensive end, more or less. And J.P. just couldn't get there, and the guy was able to pick up a few extra yards.
Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. 4 receivers. Spread them out. And here's a completed pass.
First down.
Good enough for the first down.
Not much, about a 5-6 yard gain. The Bears have responded well. We said, how will a young team respond when they get punched in the mouth? Well, they did a really good job. They came back with 2 quick touchdowns on the offense, and the defense responded after a couple of tough plays. They responded and kept Tusculum from getting back across midfield, and now we're playing on their end of the field. That's where we need to stay.
1st and 10. Wells will look deep again and dump it off inside, and the Bears, they break a tackle. That's the big tight end rumbling down the 50-yard line, and into LR territory goes Belanger, 6'3", 225-pound junior. Broke a tackle and got into the Bears' territory.
JP's going to get a little break. Again, that was J.P. Palmer. He came up and just didn't make the tackle. That was a short gain that was that old drag. And again, Wells in the pocket, lots of time, found the right person.
Nice safety valve pass. And this is Jones. He cuts back, picks up the first down. Gain of about 12 on the play. Goes T.J. Jones.
The Bears' tackling right now has been their nemesis. They've had 3 plays in a row where the play would have been for very little gain, if any, and they turned into big gains because of poor tackling.
Another first down for the Pioneers. They have it at LR's 30. Overcast skies here. Lights are on at Moret Stadium. Swing pass over here on our side. Completed to Ayero. Tyler Ayero. Redshirt freshman out of Tifton, Georgia.
So Darius Kelly was over there quickly and made a play right there. It looked good for the Bears. But, again, this is a veteran quarterback, and you just sense that Tusculum is not panicking. They know they've got a quarterback that can get the ball in the end zone for them. And the Bear defense is going to have to continue to play. That front 4 has just not been able to generate any pressure whatsoever. Only one time do I remember they really got to Wells when the ball went up in the air.
Yeah.
And we almost got an interception by a tackle. But the Bears they've got to try to generate some pressure from somewhere.
Joseph had a sack earlier as well. Now they try it deep down the middle of the field and is overthrown out of the end zone, incomplete. Bears had pretty good coverage on 2nd and 9.
Yeah, the Bears were in a good defense right there. They brought a player from the outside, but the tackle picked it up. And this offensive line has done a masterful job of blocking the Bears' front 4 guys. We have brought a little bit of pressure at times, and we're able to get back there. But with just the front 4, if you remember in some of the games, just the front 4 have done all the damage as far as rushing the passer.
Again, 3 of those guys are 300-pounders inside for the Pioneers. 3rd down, running play to Jones. He's going to be stopped shy of the first down, but he gets it to the center of the field at the 23.
That told you, though, what I thought. He's going for it. I can't, he's not going to run on 3rd and long if he doesn't think he's going to go for it on 4th.
Hey, it's only a spring championship game. Go for it, right?
Well, it's still a championship. That's the way I look at it. I talked to Coach Jacobs about that yesterday out at the golf tournament. A championship's a championship. If they're going to declare it, I want to win it.
4th down. Let's see. They try to draw the Bears offside. Nope. Quick slant across the middle. Nice move. 1st down. Inside the 5. Completed pass.
Bears brought pressure, and when they did, it was picked up. But they know when they're doing a great job. They know when the Bears are bringing pressure, and they have routes designed. You can see this play right here. He had an outside receiver coming inside. There was never any doubt that was a one-receiver route. He was going to throw it to him. Touchdown.
And there's the delayed draw play right up the middle. Goes Gamillion. And Tusculum back on the board with 6:44 to go here before the half. They come right down the field and march it and have a chance to tie it.
This may be, I didn't notice him before, number 63, the place kicker.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good-sized young man.
I think he's an offensive lineman, too.
Eli Shepard, kicker, 6 feet 210. If he's 210, I weigh about 160.
Extra point is good. So 6:44 to go before the half. We're all tied in this championship game. Bears 14 and the Pioneers 14. Back after this. This is the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
Back here, we're all tied up after Tusculum goes 81 yards in 8 plays and get a running play, and they got some big plays on that drive. And don't forget, the Bears had a chance at an interception on that drive, and that gave Tusculum life, Jack, and they took it down the field and scored.
And again, 3 of those plays turned out to be big plays off poor tackling that could have been short gains.
Yeah. Here's a return by LR. Running with the football and leaping over a man is Ryan Carter before being knocked out of bounds. So tie ball game here, 14-14 between the Bears and the Pioneers. I got some texts in about comments about the kickers. Looks like Luke Rosa, Lou Michaels, the old-fashioned kickers.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Oh, there's nothing negative about that.
No.
Hey, I was a punter, and I was a fair-sized young man back in my day. I am now anyway.
We're used to the soccer players, I guess, right? So the Bears get it 1st and 10 at the 30.
If I'd played soccer, I'd have had to been a goalie.
There's a quick pitch over here to Young. DeReek tries to stiff arm the man, and he is brought down at about the 32.
And that's what that's what the safety, our safety didn't do a while ago. Their safety did. He had to come up and make the tackle, and he got up here and made the play. That was an excellent job by the safety. I believe that was number 26. Let's see who that is.
Jermaine Witherspoon.
Yeah. That looked like a pretty decent play by a safety right there.
And a freshman out of Miami, Florida. 2nd down, pick up a 3, 2nd and 7. Grayson, short drop, throws it over here. Shy the 1st down, went to Young once again. DeReek comes up about 2 yards short, but came back after a knee injury last week. Had 5 catches against Wingate, scored a touchdown. He has 19 touchdowns in his career. He's been a heck of a weapon over the last couple of years.
Well, you take number 82, DeAndre Lester. You take DeReek Young, and who was that with? I just lost the name. We were just talking about Ryan Carter. And you've got 3 excellent receivers. Then we've added all these freshmen that look like they're really going to be good. We got some good talent in there.
3rd down. Grayson will throw it across the middle. Here's Lester. 1st down, spins out, still going, before being drugged down by Tusculum's Michael Clark, but not before.
Veteran.
A first down.
That's a veteran quarterback play right there. We were on the sprint to the boundary, going to either run it or throw it. He sees Lester stops in there, just a perfect little quick throwback in there, and picks up the 1st down. That was really good. The Bears needed to move that football down the field.
That was about a 6-7 yard curl route. I could run those routes in my sleep.
And when it's 3rd down and 2, that's all you need.
That's right. 1st down for the Bears.
Boy,
this time they stop McGee. They get penetration and throw him back for a loss.
And they're giving him a bigger loss than he got. There you go. Now the official got it right. He got hit 2 yards behind the line, then he ran up there and marked it 5 back at first. Yeah, McGee, the offensive line is having a real difficult time blocking the run right now. They're blocking the pass okay, But the run right now is really, really difficult, and they're not getting a lot out of McGee because he doesn't have anywhere to go. He's getting hit at the line or behind the line almost every time he carries the ball.
2nd down and 12 now. Down to 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Grayson, plenty of time. Still plenty. He can run it if he wants to.
And he
makes
does.
a move. Stiff arms his man to about the 45. He's going to be about 5 yards short, but Willingham picked up 7 on the scramble.
Yeah, good job right there. Going to have to, manufacture a play here now. 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. 3rd down and 6. But he had all day to throw. He just couldn't find anybody down the field. And, again, a veteran play. Don't throw an incompletion. Pick up some yardage, and that's what he did.
So 3rd down now for the Bears. They've been pretty good on 3rd down today, at least on their scoring drives. They send 5 receivers out, empty backfield. Across the middle.
Close.
Shy of the 1st down. He tried
to
go for Young. I tried to think almost have a pick play to the referee there, but the defender came up and made a nice stop.
Yeah, they had I think Coach Jacobs going to go for it. Now, this is where we have not been good, okay? I remember down at Newberry, down at the goal line, we had difficulty. We had it earlier in this game. We had a short yardage situation. We've not been good in these situations. Right now, the Bears need to be good.
That's Young. They look to the sidelines.
He might be trying to draw them off. Could be a timeout call. He's going to try to draw them off. Yeah.
So with 2:49 to go, do you punt it or do you try to go for it here and get on the board?
Well, if you go field goal right here and give him a chance to kick maybe a 60-yarder, not that he can't do it, but if he misses, they get the ball back here at the 41-yard line with 2 minutes 49 seconds to go, and their offense seems to be hitting on most of the plays they need to right now. So, I'm either punting the ball or I'm going for it, one of the two. If I'm going to give up the ball, I wouldn't give it up on a 60-yard field goal try because you're in the first half.
Yeah, go for it. And if the Bears can get back in the end zone, they'll get the ball to start the second half. This could be a major swing time.
Yeah, they got the punter out there. He's got the punting group now in the huddle here. He's going to punt the football.
Okay. So 14-14 in this first ever South Atlantic Conference Championship game being brought to you by Carolina West Wireless, proud to be the official wireless provider of the Bears this season, and by Paramount Automotive. Shop online for new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs at ParamountHyundai.com. So that's part of our fine sponsors here on the Bears Sports Network again this season. Today's game here on the network being presented by MBA Roofing. 14-14 tie. Teams have traded touchdowns all in this first half. Tusculum on the board. The Bears tied it, then went ahead, and then Tusculum came right back. They kind of punched each other. Each time a team has scored, the team getting the ball the next possession come right back and scored themselves. And here's the punt by Owen.
Yeah, a little surprise going in the end zone.
And
a little surprise to me, though, that Tusculum had their punt return unit. I would have left my defense out there, thinking, okay, if they're going to punt it, let them punt it, okay? We're not going to probably try to get a return on the ball. They're going to probably punt in the end zone. 2:42 to go.
And that's plenty of time. Bears could use a big turnover here.
Willingham 13 out of 17, 219, averaging 12.9 per attempt. Wells is 14 out of 22 for 190, averaging 8.6. The Bears defense has got to rise right here. If we could get a 3 and out, we got time to get at least a field goal attempt, but we've got to get them 3 and out right here.
Ball is at the 20. Tusculum will send 4 receivers out. Back to the left of Wells. One man in motion goes behind Wells. He'll look that way. Screen pass over here to the right. Has some space, but is tackled from behind. Boy, a nice tackle by the Bear linebacker May. John Ross May, the freshman out of Johns Creek, Georgia, in on the stop.
And that was a heads-up play. If you watch this play in replay here, that play was gone for big yardage. That was a great play call right there.
Pickup of 8. Quick pass over here. Bears come up and knock him down. Good play by Brown.
Yep.
The freshman corner over there on the stop, shy of the first. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Excellent job. Now, this is where Tusculum has done a really good job. They've run the ball successfully on short yardage situations. So let's see what they do here. But I got a feeling, and they'll probably duck in and try to go out on it.
Handoff inside.
Yep, he got it.
And he did get over the 30-yard line before the Bears push him back.
He started in the middle, and then he just took that little juke step and jumped out about 2 steps from where he was and found a seam.
Palmer, King, Hayes in on the stop of the Bears, but not before the running back Jones gets the first down. So a fresh set of downs at the 31, down to a minute and a half to go here. They're going to let the clock run. Again, the Bears will get the ball to start the second half. See if the defense can make a play. They show pressure. Back to pass. Wells throws it over here, and it's completed near the 50. First down, Pioneers.
You just can't. You cannot cover everybody. What was that, 5-6 seconds?
Yeah.
You just can't cover everybody. The Bears, you can look at the defensive linemen. They're got hands on hips. They're just worn out right now. They've been rushing that passer, and they're worn down. They just can't put pressure on him. And if he's got that time to throw, he's going to find somebody.
Wells again looking. Safety valve. Flag down. Pass complete, gain of 4, but a flag right there where the play took place.
Probably going to be on the Bears, helmet to helmet. I think it's going to be on the Bears. And our penalties, we've had a couple of things penalty-wise that have hurt us a little bit. This could be huge.
The one
right
on the
here.
interception especially.
Yeah, let's see if this is going to be 15 yards.
And here comes the call.
Nope, it's going against. Nope, he's bringing it out here. No call for targeting. I thought that's what he was going to call. It was targeting, but once they got together and talked it over, that's a good no call by the officials. Give them credit on that one for getting together and making sure, because his angle wasn't as good as the two guys that came from the outside.
2nd and 4 now, or 2nd and 6, pick up a 4.
They're doing they're letting that clock run a lot, and I understand why. They know they can strike on one play.
50 seconds left. Wells down the field, caught first down, and then tossed down by Brown.
He's just going to eat you alive, just like Willingham's doing. If you let a good quarterback, if you give him that much time, they're going to eat you alive. And the Bears are in the situation now where it's very difficult to stunt, because if you stunt and they catch you wrong, it could be a 6 points.
Boy, Brown showed his strength. He lifted that receiver up, Parham, flipped him over. Bears get some pressure this time, but not before Wells is able to dump it off and picking up another first down. Flag down once again.
It's going to be a clip, too.
Torrey Ponder on the reception.
It's going to be on a clip on them. It's either a clip or a blocking below the waist downfield type thing. The receiver over here is hanging his head. He knows he did it. And the coaches know it's coming. The only problem is it's all it's going to do is take the ball back to the line of scrimmage. If it's 10-yard penalty, it's not even going to get to the line, Juju. If it's 15 yards, it'll go all the way back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we saw Parham, the receiver, number 9. He tried to block Brown and clipped him from behind.
All right, 10 yards. And see, the Bears brought pressure then. And again, Tusculum's well prepared. They see our pressure. They knew they had to get ready for pressure, and they're ready for it. And they're getting some great throws. And again, Wells just flipped that ball sidearm to a receiver wide open down the field. This could be a timeout.
I believe it is. First down and 5 is the way they have it marked. They let the clock run down to 12 seconds left.
Coach Odom is having a little talk with the officials over there, and he's probably right. I can't remember. It seemed like there was about a few more seconds on the clock. They got it back at 12. I thought it was a little more than that.
Don't forget our sponsors this season, in this shortened spring season. Pepsi Cola Bottling, locally owned and operated since 1925. David E. Looper and Company, looking for a general contractor or need someone to count on? Give David E. Looper a call or check him out at delcompany.com. Or our fine sponsors, Oz Jewelers, your hometown jewelry store for over 38 years in Hickory and the Catawba Valley. Part of our Bears Sports Network fine list of sponsors this year, this spring season. Of course, the Bears will kick it back off again after today in September, I believe, Labor Day weekend. They'll be announcing their upcoming schedule in the next few weeks. They like to finish it off with the third straight South Atlantic Conference Championship. And right now, that's up for grabs, tied at 14. 14 seconds left. First down and 5. Wells looking, down the field, and caught. Touchdown. Bears went for the interception. That looked like to be Kelly. He missed it, and another number 15 caught it for the score, Derek Wright. And Tusculum goes ahead with 6 seconds left.
Yeah, the Bears, you know, they – I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse, but, you know, Robin Wells is an All-American quarterback, and he's getting 6, 7, 8 seconds to throw. They're well prepared for the pressure, and right now the Bears don't have an answer, and we're not covering very well down the field, you know, not using much man coverage. And you know, it's just right now it's up to Wells. You know, it's going to be a tough second half. The Bears are going to have to make some adjustments at halftime, and I'm not sure what they got up their sleeve, but give the coaching staff credit. We got punched in the mouth, like I said. We came right back into the football game. And then the last 2 drives, I mean, they have just zipped the ball down the field. And I thought they had really screwed up by wasting the clock there. But then they hit the long touchdown, you know.
Kelly went after the interception, the defensive back for the Bears. He could not come up with it, and that allowed the receiver just to take it on into the end zone to go ahead here, 21-14.
Well, and what the only thing that concerns me more than anything else is why is a guy that wide open? I mean, he had to run 20 yards to try to get to that ball. And then when he caught it, he just turned and waltzed into the end zone. You know, there's coverage mistakes on top of lack of pressure right now. And the Bears have got to, you know, going to have to make some big adjustments at halftime. They've got the team to do it. There's no question about that. And we can score points. Grayson Willingham and the receivers and McGee with the running game. But, you know, right now Dwayne McGee's got 9 carries for 15 yards.
And that's been one of the stories of the game is the fact that they've been able to shut down that Bears running attack.
Yeah, and Grayson and the receivers have done a great job moving the football for the Bears. And defensively, we did a good job. But, you know, that front 4 looks like they're just completely worn out right now. They're just not getting any pressure. And when we bring pressure, give Tusculum credit. I saw one time like they kept 7 people in last time and kept 7 people in to block.
And they go down 8 plays and 80 yards after the Bears had a 4th and short and punted it in the end zone. Tusculum takes it right down the field and goes ahead here. Here come the Bears on a nice return with some space. He might be able to go.
This is the last play of the half.
Yes, it is. 40, 30. He needs a block. Cuts back to 15, 10, and nearly takes it in. That's Ryan Carter.
Yep.
What a run by Carter. Just ran out of time.
He had to go all the way because there was nothing left on the clock. Man, what a great play by Ryan Carter and a great job. Give Tusculum a little bit of credit there. I thought he was going to outrun those last couple of guys, but he couldn't quite outrun them. Heck of a play by Ryan Carter. No give up in the Bears.
Let's watch it on replay once again. I mean, he crisscrossed the field. About right here is when he cut back.
And he had 82 beat there. I thought the guy that I worried about was 48. I thought he had 36. And 48 got blocked, but he slowed him down, made him cut back, and the big guy there, 33, came back from the inside.
And we'll go to that break now after that nice run by Ryan Carter. We'll go to halftime. Your score, Tusculum on top of the South Atlantic Conference Championship game. Pioneers 21 and the Bears 14. Back with our halftime activities. Stay with us. This is the Bears Sports Network presented by MBA Roofing.
Our decision as a conference last Thursday to cancel the spring season was not made lightly.
It's Nick.
And Greer with Paramount Automotive in Hickory.
We're located right on Highway 70 in Hickory with 6 new car franchises.
And a great selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Come see us for a fast, fun car buying experience.
Paramount Automotive Hickory, ParamountAuto.com.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate, peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found the expert for my heart.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Broken windshield, take one. Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, check.
Nope, your Geico claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
Geico. Great service without
But both teams had a little trouble kind of finding their way around. And I think what hurt the Bears more than anything defensively was having to stay on the field so long. You could tell that front four was able to generate much pass rush. They were on the field for a lot of snaps that half. Let me see if I can get the number of plays that they ran right here. Total plays, yeah. Tusculum ran 41 plays in the first half to the Bears 20. Rogan Wells, 21 of 29, 278, 9.6 per attempt, and 2 touchdowns. So both quarterbacks played well. The Bears were not able to generate much rushing game at all. McGee had 9 carries for 15 yards, and Willingham had 1 carry for 7. That's a total of 22 yards rushing. On the other side of the coin now, Tusculum Jones rushed 6 times for 30 yards. Gamalion rushed 4 times for 20, and Rogan Wells 2 for -8. So they wound up with a total rushing yards of 42. So they had a little bit more, but both teams lived by the pass and died by the pass in the first half. The Bears just weren't able to generate any kind of a defense in late second quarter to stop the onslaught of Rogan Wells and that Pioneer offense. They looked awfully good.
Bears did force Tusculum to punt the ball 4 times in that first half, but again, Tusculum scored in the final
run of play. We scored quickly, especially on the first drive. It wasn't a very long drive. It was it was a long drive, but it wasn't. It didn't take us many plays.
Yeah, 1 minute and 21 seconds.
And then on the next drive, we got the ball and got it down there pretty quickly as well. Got it in the end zone. Their drives were a little more methodical. They had to make a couple of plays, and the penalties I thought could have played a part in the game, but didn't play a great deal. But Ross May, a starting linebacker, was on that punt team, and that's one thing Coach Houston did. Duggar was on a lot of the special teams.
Yes, he was.
Our people have always thought special teams important enough that they put regular starting players. Usually use a lot of substitute. They've got regular starting offensive and defensive players. There's Preston Joseph right there.
So they'll boot it from the 30, another high kick.
Ryan
Carter will take it at the 20, 25-30. Breaks out of there. What a nice run by Carter. Gets it over the 40. Another big play on the special teams, and the Bears will get the ball to start the second half. An excellent field position at the 42.
That was over a 20-yard gain from where we would have been. So a great job right there by the Bears. Taking advantage, get the ball up around the 42, 43. I guess he's going to mark it at the 43.
So about a 30-yard return for Ryan Carter, the junior out of Ringgold, Georgia, who came into this game with 12 receptions and last year played that wingback position, carried the ball quite a bit, has become one of the favorite receivers for Grayson Willingham, who actually has really spread it out. The Bears come out again, play action. They're going to just throw down the field. That's Young, and he was open.
Boy,
just overshot him by just a shade. Otherwise, Derek Young could have had a big play on first down.
Oh, that's a great call. I love to see that, too. Their play out, you thinking everybody's thinking, oh, they're going to run or throw the short pass. You come out and you go to a guy that can catch the football. Derek Young had a good route out there. Our wide receivers have now become really great targets. They run and get open. I mean, it's just not like they're doing, anything. They're running and they're getting open.
Straight drop back. This time incomplete. Intended for Carter. Nice defensive play knocked out of his hands by Witherspoon, the freshman defensive back.
That's one of those plays we've seen where they just want to get it to Ryan Carter and let him run with the ball, and Tusculum was all over it. Tusculum did a really good job in preparation for this game. Most of the things that the Bears have tried to do, they've had an answer, more so on offense, where I think they've really dialed in on some of the things the Bears were trying to do with the defense.
4 receivers now, no tight end. Grayson straight drop, looking over here. He's going to have to tuck it and run, and is tackled at the 46. That was a late developing play, so Grayson didn't have time to look downfield. He felt the pressure and kept it. He's going to be about 7 yards shy of the first down.
And that's exactly what you wanted at Tusculum. Kind of took the momentum halfway through the second quarter, and they keep it going in halftime. We get a good kickoff return, and then we go 3 and out real quick. So the Bear defense now is going to have to really step up right here.
Well, nice kick. Nice end-over-end kick, and they'll drive him back to about the 8-yard line. Fair catch called for by Ponder. So the Bear defense now was picked apart in that second quarter quite a bit by Rogan Wells. Try to get up with a stop here as Tusculum will start at about their own 9-yard line. A couple of our fine sponsors, part of the Bear Sports Network again, Tri-County Marine, Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company, Southeast Retirement Planners. What is your game plan to reach your financial goals? Check them out at Southeast Retirement Planners. Ryan Edwards, Les Stewart, Bob Fincher will get your game plan in place. Ball is at the 9, 1st and 10. There's a running play to Jones, and he has a hole left side, slips one tackle, and is brought down at the 22. Nice run that time by Jones, who in the first half carried the ball 6 times for just 31 yards and picks up about 15 on that run.
Averaging 5 yards a carry, that's not bad average.
No. So Wells, 21-29 in that first half. Transfer from Valdosta State. There's a pass nearly intercepted. Bears had pressure. Went through the hands of the linebacker for LR, Percy King, and it falls incomplete.
Boy, the Bears have had, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Drew, I think that may be 3 times we've had a ball in our hands that we didn't catch. You never know how that'll play out as the game goes along. It'll depend on what happens this series, but he catches that ball. The Bears have the ball inside the Tusculum 30-yard line.
2nd and 10. Bears will rush 4. And again, high pass. I don't know if the ball's wet. Slipped out of Wells' hands, and it went incomplete.
That was about the worst throw we've seen all
day.
That looked like he took it. Looked like he almost threw it end over end. I mean, almost looked like he grabbed it by the end and threw it. It looked so bad. But, having thrown that ball under conditions like we're playing in where it's a little bit damp, it's not easy, folks. I'm telling you, it is not easy to throw the football when it's damp.
See if the Bears show pressure here.
Well, they've shown pressure, and they've kept, they got 5, 6, 7. They got 7 guys blocking.
And Wells steps up and throws it downfield. Man is open. Caught. 20, 10. They won't catch him.
Touchdown.
Valdosta State transfer. Justice Parham catches a pass from another Valdosta State transfer, Rogan Wells. And Tusculum goes ahead by 2 scores.
That was just too easy. They kept 7 people in to block. They only had 3 receivers out, and 2 of them went down the boundary line, and he just outran our guy.
And it was an out and up.
Yeah, he just threw it deep, and that was it. The ball was right on the money. I mean, that was just too easy. Bears got one earlier in the game, very similar to that.
Yeah. Picked on the freshman, Chris Brown. He had an interception earlier in this game that was nullified. That time he got beat deep, and I guess 2 plays, and they go 90 yards. So your score now reads 28-14 in favor of the Pioneers. Back with more. This is the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
It's Nick
and Greer with Paramount Automotive in Hickory.
We're located right on Highway 70 in Hickory with 6 new car franchises.
And a great selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Come see us for a fast, fun car buying experience.
Paramount Automotive Hickory. Paramount Auto.
All right, back here as Tusculum on their first possession of the second half. Cover 91 yards in 4 plays and a long touchdown pass. Rogan Wells to a teammate at Valdosta State for the touchdown. 28-14 now in favor of the Pioneers. And here's the kickoff. This is Lester. He has some space at the 40. Bears have had good returns on the kickoffs today. 45-yard line, so they'll get good field position to get back in this ball game. Bears down 14.
I said in the first half we got punched in the mouth and we had to make a comeback. Well, this time we've been punched in the nose, I think. We've really, dug ourselves a little bit of a hole here. But it's early in the third quarter. We've only had one possession, but the Bears got to step it up. We just don't look sharp doing a lot of things we're doing on offense. Defensively, it's just a struggle. I mean, they're keeping 7 guys in to block our 5 or 4, and somebody's going to get open when you do that.
39-yard return on the kickoff. This is McGee trying to find some space in front of the Tusculum bench, and he's ridden out of bounds. He'll get about 4 on the play. Second down, still plenty of time, as you can see. 12:47 to go in the third. As the Bears are now marching to the north end here at Moret Stadium. Overcast skies. Rain has stopped. I guess your weatherman, I guess we're out of the woods maybe with rain.
We're still got it potentially coming, but
He'll go deep. This is Young, caught at the 20.
That's
go ahead to
right
one of
there.
your upperclassmen, Derek Young, using his body like an NBA rebounder. Got position, got the ball, and the Bears have it now inside the red zone.
If the Bears are able to make the comeback here that they're certainly capable of, that could be the play that turns the whole game around for the Bears. That was huge. The Bears had not been able to get a big play like that, and they finally did. Now, they got number 71 lined up out here.
That's Isaac Chapman.
What's he doing?
That's a guard.
Yeah, they're going to run a screen. I see what they're going to do. Now that their scouts will be all over that up in the booth, so they'll have to change the play. What they were going to do, they put him out here as a wing, and they had Ryan McGee lined up here. They're going to throw a screen pass out here to McGee behind one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, Isaac Chapman
Smart
out of
play.
Taylorsville.
The Bears have not been afraid, and I don't know if Tusculum has, except that one play, the flea flicker they ran. The Bears have not been afraid to throw out plays that you think, well, maybe they ought to say, well, I talked to Coach Jacobs yesterday, and you heard me say this, and he said, hey, if they're going to award a championship, I want to be the team that wins it. It's going to go in the trophy case as a champion of the 2021, spring, fall, whatever you want season. Somebody's going to win that trophy today, So you pull out all the stops. You don't say, oh, I don't want to say they got 8 wins right there on their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
With this football team they got right here, let's assume all these guys are coming back, and I bet they are. They're going to win 8 games. They got 4 games they could be pressed on. And we'll see what happens come the fall. But that's then. This is now.
In his previous 2 games, here's McGee, and they have stuff him at the 15. He'll fall forward down to about the 14, maybe one receivers we saw earlier today.
Yeah.
See if they sneak him out here. No, he blocks. Throws it across the middle and tipped and in.
Now, too, the Bears are in the 3rd down and 10 at the 15-yard line. Is this 4-down territory? Is this 3-down territory? Well, a lot depends on this play right here. If we get it down under 5 yards, I think Coach may take a chance at it. But anything, if we don't complete a pass here to get the first or to get it down in there close enough, then this is probably field goal city right here.
3rd and 10.
May have a one-on-one right here to the left.
Pick up the blitz across the middle, tipped away again. Boy, nice play by the defender. They were going for Payne across the middle, and he was open, but the defender stepped in front and knocked it away from the Bear freshman wide receiver, Jordan Payne.
Grayson hadn't been off target very much today, but he just flat missed that one. He didn't get that ball out in front. Watch the receiver. See, he's wide open. Look how far behind the ball. See, the ball was thrown well behind him. That was the first time today he's been off target that far.
So here's the field goal attempt by Elbaugh.
We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for. education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Back here, Juju Phillips, Jack Huss, bringing you the South Atlantic Conference Championship game. Dunright is another. Are you in the market for a new roof? Check them out. Contact K&L Dunright Roofing, serving the foothills in western North Carolina since 2009. And Domino's Pizza, proud spot. They need a stop or turnover or something. They've had a couple of chances here today, Jack, but now the defense is going to have to step up. Down 11. Nice kick by Norwood out of the end zone.
They got the wind behind him still.
Yes.
That wind has been the same direction, and it's been enough to matter in the kicking game. Careful they don't try to go deep on you real quick.
Quick screen. Gamillion with the reception. And he's upended over there by Bears secondary mate Brown.
We've got an injured player over there. He's getting up. Now he's all right.
That's one of the Bear defensive outside
41.
linebackers, Quentin Hayes.
Quentin Hayes.
Out of Powder Springs, Georgia. Not before they're going to mark the first down, move the chains. Halfway through the third quarter in this South Atlantic Conference Championship game, first ever. And Tusculum trying to snap Lenoir-Rhyne's long regular season win streak. They've won a ton of games at home in a row. And Tusculum hasn't won here since 2008. First and 10. And Bears brought pressure up the middle. Wells just threw it in the ground, intended for Gamillion, second down.
They didn't anticipate pressure, I don't think, on first down, but they had the safety valve right there, and he just flat missed him. That was as bad a throw as the one he threw a while ago, and then the one on the boundary when he got intercepted.
They always seem to have a safety valve, don't they?
Watch for the deep ball. I still can't believe they haven't gone deep again.
Quick pass over here is caught. He gets a block.
Boy, that's
shy of the first down up to about the 38. That's an 8-yard pickup over there for number 15, and that is Wright, the junior, who I think he caught the touchdown pass in the second half that gave them the big lead here.
See, that's just like a running play. You know, just make a little fake in there and get it to him quick, let him run with the ball. That's just like an 8-yard running game. We've done that successfully ourselves over the first 3 games.
Third down and 2. Short drop. Plenty of time. All kind of time. He'll throw it away.
Well, if you're going to throw it away, you better throw it in the boundary.
That's right. Bears had outstanding coverage. Wells simply threw it away. And that'll force another punt here. So the Bear defense rises up when they needed to. Look at the time here.
Yeah.
The Bears spied him. They had, I believe that was May, the linebacker. And there's just nobody open down the field.
Yeah. And that surprised me a little bit, that call, because it was 3rd and 2. I thought we might see a running play. They've been pretty successful on their third down running plays as opposed to their third down passing plays. But the Bear defense steps up. Now, the offense, we've had 2 good opportunities. Now we're going to start a little deeper maybe, and barring a punt return. Kicking into the wind. Look at that ball die.
Get out of the way.
That should have been interference right there. He came up to try to catch it, and he couldn't catch it.
I think our guy was being blocked in too.
Well, anyway, it works out great for them. But one thing you got to do, if you're standing back there to punch, you look down there at those flags, and you see that guy's kicking into the wind. You got to move up. Move up 5 yards. If he's averaging 40 yards a kick, and that wind's as strong as it is right now, mark him down to 35 and move up 5.
Our guy was right in front of DeAndre Lester. Didn't give him a chance to field it here. Look.
Yeah, and he didn't kick that ball more than, I don't know, that ball didn't go more than 25 yards in the air.
Yeah. Here's the offense now at the 21. Let's see if they can get something going, trailing by 11. Bears have only had a field goal here. in this third quarter. Here's McGee breaking left side.
That's that little counter play, that little counter tray, I think the Redskins used to call it.
Yeah.
And that's the most successful running play we've had in a while. We've had a couple of them. They're a jawing crowd. Look at that. This corner over here still jawing. Hey, our guys are not bad at it either.
No, I know. I was at Wingate last week. It was on both sides. A lot of verbal processing. Pick up a 7 on the play. One of the biggest runs for McGee of the afternoon. Stops the clock. He'll take it again. There's a hole there. Cuts up the middle, but he can't get through the hole. Nice tackle on the play as they knock him off his shoestrings there. And good enough, though, for a first down. They'll get it up to the 31.
You know, Tusculum's got one loss, I believe, against Newberry, first game of the year, and that was a non-conference game. That's why they're in the championship game. That didn't count. I say non-conference; it was a non-division game.
Yeah.
We were in 2 divisions, but you know they didn't score any points in that game. If I remember correctly, it was a low-scoring game. Their offense has since jailed. That means their defense has not played that bad all year.
No, they have not given up that much. They've been very stingy defensively. 16 points a game.
Look at that. Boy, he got hit before he got out of the backfield.
Yeah. They come up and support the run awfully well, and they shut down McGee, who's only had 28 yards rushing today on, 15 carries?
Yeah.
As we saw moments ago, and he picked up 1 that time.
13 carries for 28 yards.
Okay.
And, you know, that looks like, you know, they've committed to doing that, and they're trying to play a lot of, you know, zone coverage. Haven't seen too much man-to-man. We've beaten them deep a couple times. Now, this is a situation where we beat them deep a while ago right here.
Play action. Grayson steps up but is stripped of the football and has to fall on it. They were trying to go deep once again. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long. Grayson was stepping up in the pocket, Jack, and somebody came along and just knocked it out of his hands.
The guy was actually being blocked by him, and he reached out and got his arm. And, you know, it's one of those days that the mistakes the Bears are making today have not been a problem over the first 3 games. We have not made as many mistakes, you know, probably more so today than all the other games combined. And we're playing the best football team by far we've seen.
3rd and long here. Grayson will back in the pocket, throws across the middle. Receiver falls down. Flag comes flying. Several of them.
Yeah, going to get an interference call here. They, you know, I don't know. Maybe the replay will show us downfield what happened. It's a good call, but it might be a marginal call. We'll see. We'll take it anyway. We need it right now. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, which still won't give us a first down unless it's automatic.
This is Parsons coming across the middle. I don't know if he was held.
Couldn't see him. But he did. You could see the guy behind him actually was kind of following him, and he may have grabbed him. It's automatic first down. It might have been a yard. It would have been 4th and 1 if it wasn't an automatic.
So the Bears get the first down at the 40-yard line, and Parsons came up there. He was looking around for the flag, so he obviously knew that maybe he was pushed or grabbed or held. And the Bears get the penalty, get the first down, have it up close to midfield now with just under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. LR trailing by 11. Quick pass over here to the tight end, running with the ball across the 50, picking up the first down, looking pretty good. Cody Osborne, the transfer from Notre Dame College out of Windsor, Ohio.
Yeah, that was an excellent first down play call, too. Just something simple, and to get a block out here, so there was only one receiver going to catch the ball, and the wide receivers were blocking, and pick up a quick first down, get another 10 yards.
Here's McGee sweeping left, gets a block, cuts back, still going, and gets it up to the 33. Boy, did you see Blake Jefferson? I believe Blake is the center, Jack. He was out pulling, leading the running back. Good run by the Bears, a 10-yard pickup, and another Bear first down brought to you by McDonald's.
Yeah, the Bears will pull the lineman based on what the defense looks like. If the center happens to be the uncovered guy, then he may be the one to pull. If the guard's uncovered, he may be the one to pull.
There you see him out here, 54 gets the block, and may have held him. But a good run by McGee.
Excellent play. And the Bears are striking a little wider now on these plays. They're hitting it outside a little bit, and there's a little misdirection kind of look to them, and I think that's what's helping them. Tusculum has run that play several times for success against the Bears, and now we've turned the table on them.
Once again, the Bears Sports Network, some fine sponsors this year. Southside Power and Fitness, providing an exclusive discount of almost 50% off for LR faculty, staff, and students. Experience with Southside has to offer. SouthsidePF.com, one of the many fine sponsors on the Bears Sports Network. Again, being presented by MBA Roofing. Jack, as you look at some of the stats in front of you, they changed dramatically here in the third quarter?
No, not really. Tusculum's got 464 yards of total offense right now. The Bears have 308. So, it's been pretty much what it looks like statistically. Tusculum defense has done a fairly good job. Holding the Bears to 308 is pretty good because we've been averaging a bunch.
15 carries for 43 now for McGee. Make it 16. He's met head on. Little guy drives forward up to the 30. That's a gain of 3. This Bear offense averaging 38 points a game this spring and over 400 yards of offense. Been held to 17 so far in the final 3 minutes of the third quarter.
And this is, again, a crucial drive. This is the third time now the Bears have had the ball at or around the 30-yard line somewhere, and they've got to get more than 3 points out of this drive.
McGee takes it up the middle and stopped right there. Another short gain of 2. Third down and short.
Inside the 30. This is, and I think Coach Jacobs knows this is an important drive because we're not doing anything crazy. You think about it, touchdown here in the extra point is 28-24, okay? So the Bears are back in the ball game. The pressure falls back on Tusculum to come out and make something happen with their offense.
5 wide. McGee, the running back, out here on the far left. Grayson under pressure across the middle. That's a flag.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, there we go. Another pass interference call intended for Derek Young. The defender had his arm wrapped around Young as the pass was intended toward him in the middle of the football field. I believe that's linebacker Craig Watts.
Yeah,
he's going to get called on the flag here. Look here.
Wasn't any doubt about that one.
No.
Hey, we made that call from up here and got it right.
Another Valdosta State transfer.
Yeah,
Junior linebacker Craig Watts out of St. Petersburg, Florida.
Well, they've got some talented players, and they've added to that. And those guys from Valdosta, whatever you may think or don't think, they come in knowing how to win. They're not surprised that they're winning.
1st and 10 Bears at the 25. McGee finds a little bit of a hole. Gets it up to the 20. So we're seeing on this drive, McGee finding a little bit more space. He had a 10-yard carry. That time picks up about 5 or 6. Second down here in the final minute and a half of the third quarter.
Two things that are happening here. The Bears are got a great drive going, but they're also resting that defense. The defense has been on the field for a lot of snaps. It's still 56-47 in terms of plays run, with Tusculum having the 56.
Wilson, Cox fires down the field. Young is open. High catch and complete. Lofted it in the end zone for Derek Young and went through his hands. He would have had it for a touchdown.
That's a catch you got to make, too. Daggone it. Our receivers have just made great receptions all year long, and that's one you just got to make.
Nice
the ball
pump.
was thrown properly. It's thrown right to the outside where he's the only one that can get to it. He just couldn't quite make it.
I believe that was Ty Brown on coverage. So now 3rd and 5 for the Bears. They bunch the formation.
See if they run the ball. Nope.
Grayson across the middle and caught for the first down. Another freshman, Jordan Payne, out of Charlotte and Vance High School.
They went with an unbalanced formation, the Bears did then. I thought they might be setting them up to run the ball on 3rd and, see if they could surprise them. But that was one of those plays you put in. That's your 3rd down and 5 play when you got to throw the ball.
Okay.
You have plays in your arsenal that you put in for certain situations.
A McDonald's first down at the 12. Neal goes in motion. They hand it to McGee.
Fumble.
He is upended. Ball's on the ground. I think
they got it. No, he
popped out after he hit the ground.
Bears got it back. Yeah, it's just, I was thinking that ball popped loose. I said, wow, what a day. They brought the guy from the outside. See, right now they're.
Yeah, I think he hit the ground. The ball came loose.
They're going to make us throw the ball from here to get it in the end zone.
Split receivers both sides. Gain of 1. McGee cuts back and no running room. Tough sledding up in the middle of the field here, down close to the goal line, right in front of the. Is that the women's lacrosse goal? The yellow line there, as you can see in our screen.
It would have to be one of the two of them, because I think it might be, because the red would probably be the men. It's a little bit deeper.
End of the third quarter, folks, as we come to the end, or do they call a timeout?
Nope.
Okay. End of the third quarter. When we come back, Bears will have it. Marching, trying to get on the board again. They're down 11. It's LR 28 and Tusculum 17. Back with more. Stay with us. You're watching the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Back here, Juju Phillips with Jack Huss as we start the fourth quarter of play. Bears trailing 28-17. Jack, as you look at a couple of the stats brought to you by Everett Chevrolet, you were also mentioning that the Bears are on one of the longest drives of the season.
Yeah, this drive is 13 plays for 68 yards at this point, and it's 6 minutes and 23 seconds long. I thought we got the ball near midway point of the quarter, and we have methodically moved the ball down the field. And now we need to turn it into 7 points. 28-24, and this is a real ball game in the fourth quarter.
Methodically matriculated the ball down the field.
Well, you know, if we don't do something on this play, it's 3rd down and 10. The field goal makes it 28-20, so it's a one-score game. You got to go field goal if we don't get this ball in the end zone here, or get it down, I'd say inside the 5-yard line, where it'd be 4th and 2 or something like that maybe.
3rd and 9. Grayson will throw. Steps across the middle. Caught.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
What a catch. 3 guys. What a throw. What a catch.
That's Young. Derek Young, the super senior out of Raleigh. And the Bears have a chance to close it to within a few points here.
They bunch it. Look at that.
Woo. He beat 3 men.
They ran the bunch, and the outside guy came all the way back to the middle. That was a bunch, when I call a bunch, there's 3 of them right there all lined up together on that side. Huge play. Great call, Coach Soto. Great execution between Willingham. Good job by the offensive line.
Bears will try to get for 2 here and pull within a field goal.
Yeah, if they kick, they'll be down 4, so they got to go.
Got to hurry.
It's not a bad.
Grayson will throw it across the middle and complete.
Oh, he stepped out of bounds. The guy held him, but he stepped out of bounds. The official threw his hat down.
Okay. So it's not going to go. So the Bears do score a touchdown. They'll get the 6 points, but the 2-point conversion goes awry, and the Bears come off the field here down by 5 with 14:54 to go as we start the fourth quarter. Bears trailing here 28-23. So, Jack, a look at some of the stats as we got a couple of seconds here before we kick it off. Some of the main stats as they are being brought to you by our halftime stats or game stats by McDonald's.
Willingham is 18 of 28 for 290, 10.4 yards per attempt. Rogan Wells, 25 of 40, 385 yards, 9.6 So they're pretty close, and big difference in the number of passes thrown and the yardage, but in yards per attempt, pretty close right there. TDs, Wells has had 3, and Willingham's had 3. No interceptions for Willingham, 1 for Rogan Wells. On the ground, rushing yards, the Bears have 48 rushing yards, and Tusculum has 79. A lot of passing, obviously. Penalties are 3 for 31 for the Bears. Tusculum's had 7 penalties now for 58 yards, and a few of those turned out to be pretty helpful to the Bears.
And Tusculum's offense getting ready to go. As you mentioned, 464 yards of offense already, and we still have most of the fourth quarter to play here. How about an overtime game? Come on, I don't know if we can have an overtime game now.
Well, we're kind of on an odd point now.
Yeah, we are. There's the kickoff by Norwood, and it'll go out of bounds.
They get the ball out at the 35-yard line?
35.
See, that hurts right there. They kicked one a while ago, and it went in the same place and bounded into the end zone. We got it at the 25. That's not a good – when you get in these kind of games, you look for any edge you can, and getting the ball at the 35-yard line is a big bonus right there.
Last week, Rogan Wells threw for 666 yards. That's a darn unlucky number, wouldn't you say, against Limestone, but they did win that game. He's been averaging over 350 yards this spring after transferring from Valdosta State. See if the Bears can get him to force a turnover here. They've intercepted him once already this half in last possession. Here's a running play. The Bears come up and meet him pretty good.
Yeah, I think the Bears were anticipating that. They brought a whole bunch of folks up from the outside. I think they were anticipating there was either going to be a short throw or they were going to try to run the ball. They'd like to run a little bit of clock, but they're not worried about the clock right now. They're an explosive offensive team. They know they can strike on any play, so they're not worried about the clock with 14 minutes to go.
Quentin Hayes and Zeke Nance in on the stop. Loss of 1. And bring pressure again. Incomplete. They intended that pass over there to the tight end. I'll say tight end. He's 6'3", 225. He's listed as tight end, and he was lined up outside. And the quarterback threw behind him, Jack. It's going to bring 3rd and 11.
Yeah, the play of the game so far right here. The Bears need a turnover on downs. 3 and out right here would be huge for the Bears. Another 6-minute drive for a score would be even better, wouldn't it, after that? This is where you have to be careful. This is a veteran quarterback right here. He could take advantage of anything if he's given time.
Bears have good coverage. Nobody open, and they'll throw it underneath.
Come up and tackle.
And they get around the ball, and they stop him for a gain of 1.
Great job.
Excellent job by the Bear defense. That's linebacker Percy King on the stop, along with several of his teammates, Houston and others. Great coverage. This is almost like a coverage sack.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. The Bears had nobody to throw to, and finally he had to dump off, but the only reason the pressure finally got to him, but when he dumped off, he knew he didn't have a chance for the first down on that dump off.
The momentum seems to have shifted.
And the Bears, the plus right here for Tusculum is they got the wind behind them on the punt. Pretty good punt. He's going to let it go. It's going to go way down there.
And Bears are going to be way backed up.
You can't do that. You got to catch that ball. You got to get over and catch that ball.
Catch it, pick it up, and run out of bounds if you have to.
Well, you got to get over and catch that ball. That was a heck. He had the wind behind him. He was deep enough, but he just didn't get over in time. That was a heck of a play. So you're going to start at the 6-yard line. That punt right there could be the play of the game for Tusculum.
Yeah, it has been.
Everything was going our way. Like you said, we seized the momentum, and all of a sudden we're back with our, they're a lot closer to our goal line than we are to theirs.
And the Bears have been good on special teams this year, in this spring.
They tried to block that punt.
They did.
Again, Tusculum did a good job blocking because we brought a bunch of them. We had some guys around the punter when he got it off.
I think they blocked a kick in every game so far this spring, in several games. They blocked more than one. Here's McGee. Sweeping right, has a hole.
He
tried to cut back. And
you made a mistake right there.
Yeah, 14-yard line shy of the first down. If he'd have ran straight north and south.
He just kept going. He was going to outrun them. He was going to get another 10, 12 yards before they could get him. That's a good run out of that situation, though. Now this is, 2nd and 2 is a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
He's a twitchy runner. He's got those twitchy feet, and he runs with his eyes. He sees things, and he stops, and he cuts, and you've talked about how quick his feet are.
Trying to get lined up here. 2nd and short. 10 seconds on the play clock. They pitch it to McGee.
Turn up. He got the first. There you go.
And he drives forward all the way to the 20.
That's what he needed to do there. He stopped for a second, and I thought he was going to get stopped short of the first down, and then he just turned it up and went north-south that you talked about right there. He probably heard you say that. Play we haven't seen either, just a toss sweep toward that bunch. We had that 3-man bunch over there we used on the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a halfback pass in that somewhere down the line.
Play action. Grayson rolls right. Throws it this side. Oh, almost intercepted. Went through the hands of Lester.
Wow.
And incomplete.
All of a sudden, our receivers are not making the catches that they need to make. I mean, that was right there. I mean, there's, it wasn't a difficult catch as I see it. He just didn't make the play.
2nd and 10 stops the clock with 12:02 to go. If you've been tuning in all afternoon, thank you for joining us on the Bears Sports Network. Overcast skies here. Wind has been off and on throughout the afternoon. We got a little rain earlier. It hasn't rained in a while. There's a delayed draw to McGee.
Look at that. Wow, that is really good defense.
Yeah,
right
good
there.
team
1, 2, 3,
defense.
4, 5, 6. 6 players around that tackle when it was made. That's really good defense. Their defense is, they're as good as advertised. They really are. I've been impressed with their defensive play. And, both teams came in with some defensive stats that were pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Tusculum's defense only giving up 16 points a game. LR's defense only, 18 points a game. So it's been – the team's defenses have been really good, but the offenses have been really good. And you see McGee now starting to pick it up a little bit. 23 carries for 70 yards.
I'm just looking at their defensive stats, their tackles today. Jackson Coughlin's got 9. Jonathan Lowe has got 8. John Smith has got 5. Ivan Hogan's got 5. Xavier Clemens, number 92, has got 4 tackles. They got a bunch of people that had a bunch of tackles in there.
Coughlin, their leading tackler on the team, the senior out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, is coming off the South Atlantic Conference Player of the Week honors in defense last week, including a sack. Played well again today. Big third down here for the Bears. No. Grayson tried to step up in the pocket, and a flag comes down at the very end here when Grayson got hit. Let's see what the flag's about.
Yeah, it's going against him. That's a big mistake right here, too.
Roughing the passer.
Because he was falling. If we see the replay, he was falling as he threw the ball, and the guy hit him. That was a no-brainer right there. Yeah, watch him. He slips, and he's falling. And as he's going down, the guy hits him. Yeah.
Did he give him the business after he brought him down, maybe?
It was 2 guys hit him. It was the second guy that probably got the penalty.
Okay. Was that NFL official one time said penalty for giving him the business?
Yeah.
Here's McGee trying to break a tackle, and a big lineman there, number 90, Cowart.
I'll tell you, they have been tough to block. They really have. McGee has been hit so many times. Now, we got a penalty flag. I hope this is offsides on Tusculum, but I wouldn't bet on it.
I believe the LR wide receivers coach, Coach Figueroa.
Is he going to pick it up, or is he going to call it?
He came running out onto the field.
He's checking with them. Yeah, it's going to be they're going to refuse it. He didn't line up on the line. The 5 players in the backfield. That means that the wide receiver over there was off the line. In multiple formations, that can happen. You have the receivers really have to know what they're doing.
So a loss on the play of 3, 2nd and 13. Now they'll go deep. Grayson goes down the field. It is caught and dropped. Stripped away by the defensive back. Good play over there by the corner for Tusculum.
You can see
intended for Lester.
You can see right before the snap, Grayson saw it. Watch him. No, he's already done it. He waved that guy and said, "I'm going." He said, "I'm coming," and he just took off.
He had it and got stripped away. Yeah. Good play by the defensive back.
And again, those are catches that we were making earlier in the year, and we just haven't made them today. Back up. We're offside. There you go. Back up.
Jonathan Lowe with the play out there on the corner.
Big
brings
play
up
right
third
here, too,
down.
because you got to punt the ball if we don't make it.
Square in for Young. He dropped it.
That one,
a little behind him,
yeah,
maybe?
the ball was a little behind him. That was not a good throw by Grayson. But, again, those are catches that we have made, but it wasn't a good throw. So, that's a 50-50 ball, you might say.
He was beyond the first down marker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had time and a good route. The offensive line did a great job there protecting. Gave him plenty of time, and Grayson stayed in the pocket and stepped up. He, like I said, today I can see a real evolution. He's really come along as a pocket passer.
Here is the punt. End over end.
That's going to work out great, too.
Yeah, it does. It takes a nice roll inside the 20.
Their guy's jumping up and down because he screwed up, too. He knew he should have picked that ball up.
Michael Owen, the Bear punter, the junior, Northview High School in Duluth, Georgia. With the nice punt, and they'll pin back the Pioneers to the 17. Boy, you couldn't ask for a better championship game, right, Jack? First ever South Atlantic Conference title game, except for the weather and COVID and everything. Overcast skies, not too much rain. It's pretty easy, but the game has been very competitive and been fun to watch and do.
And you've got two really good football teams too. I don't know how good Carson Newman is. We didn't get to see them. Carson Newman Tusculum game today and the Newberry Catawba game today would have been interesting. Especially that Carson Newman game. I would have loved to see them play Tusculum because that would have told us a little bit about both teams. What this tells me right here is Tusculum's my favorite going into next season. With this team all returning, the way they look right now, now if the Bears come back and win this game today, the Bears are my favorite.
Yeah.
They're always my favorite, don't get me wrong, but you know what I'm saying. I think Tusculum will get most of the coaches' votes for, first place in the conference.
You saw the same thing I saw this week. In fact, you sent it to me.
Yeah.
That one of those computer rankings had Lenoir-Rhyne ranked number 1 of the nation.
We were ranked number 1 in the nation by the computer rankings of all Division II schools based on 3 games.
Play action. Wells over here. Nice safe pass and a completion.
See, that's where your corners, and we've talked about this for years and years and years. Coach Houston always, he didn't play man-to-man. He was a zone coach. Stop the run and play zone. Don't give them the deep ball.
Parham on the catch. Picked up 7. This time the run to Jones. Shy of the first down. Going to bring up 3rd and less than 2.
When you've got a quarterback as good as this quarterback and as good as Grayson Willingham on first down, if your corner's playing 8-10 yards off, you can pick up an easy 5, 6, 8 yards, maybe more.
All right, they're going to call it 3rd and 1. They got about 5 guys over there with hand signals.
Yeah, they might be working the clock a little bit here too.
See if the Bears show a blitz here. They're going to pass it on 3rd and 1. The Bears get pressure.
Out of bounds.
And out of bounds.
Wow, I am stunned.
Yeah.
I am stunned. Coach Odom is probably pulling his hair. Well, I don't know. He didn't have a lot of hair, did he? I'm telling you, I cannot believe that. The way they've run the ball successfully most of the time today on short yardage, why in the world would you
You're
throw
right.
the ball?
If you can't get a yard. I mean, this is the time of the game where you say, we're going to run. You try to stop us. It's only a yard, right?
You got it.
See if you can will your team. Here is a nice punt.
Catch it and go.
Lester at the 32. He's got space. Breaks a tackle.
Great field position.
Yes, indeed. Up close to midfield. That's a pickup of 16 for DeAndre Lester. And the Bears are in business right near midfield with 9.5 to go here in this championship game. Lenoir-Rhyne trails 28-23. Glad you're aboard and glad we have some fine sponsors. Southeast Retirement Planners. Carolina West Wireless, proud to be the official wireless provider of the Bears. and Emerge Ortho, the official sports medicine provider for Lenoir-Rhyne, with 45 locations in 21 counties here in North Carolina. So the Bears have a chance to go ahead here.
Great credit to the defense, too. They have really rebounded after giving up a lot of yards early. They have rebounded. Look at that. Wow. I mean, we didn't block anybody. Good gosh.
Good penetration. And McGee is
He
stonewalled right at the 45.
He took one step and he was hit.
Yeah.
Wow. We've really had a tough time up front. I don't know if it's the scheme or if they're just that good up front. That sometimes it's your scheme when you're zone blocking. Everybody steps out to block, and they may be hitting seams, and we're not getting to them. But, boy, I'm telling you what, it's been tough.
Loss of 2, second down. Grayson pumps, throws down the field for Young.
Got it.
He'll catch it, hauls it in at the 20-yard line. He laid it in there perfectly.
That's
Derek Young with the catch.
You know, Juju, that's the one thing I see in this team that we can do that we've never really done. We can just run a guy down the boundary and throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
We've done it all year. We can actually throw the ball deep in a hurry and hit people down the field and make big plays like that. You know, back in the Wishbone days, we never tried that much. And under Coach Cronick, every once in a while we would take a shot down the field, but it was always off play action.
Yeah.
That's just, drop back, throw the ball, and outrun them right there. Something we can do now to add to the arsenal.
That pass was caught by Ryan Carter, and that'll bring up second down, gain of 4 on the play. So the Bears have it inside the 20, down to the 16 after the big pass play. Willingham will step back, throw it in the end, so that's intercepted. He underthrew his man that time, and here comes Tusculum on the big turnover. They got some space.
Here's
Lester.
Run him down. Lester's going to run him down.
DeAndre Lester. We're not for him. So Tusculum gets the turnover on the interception by Willingham, but there is a flag down at the 16-yard line.
I wonder what it is, though.
Nobody is.
I wonder.
It may be some kind of block in the back. I'm guessing that
it could be on the return.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
I'll tell you that.
Even though the Bear offense is still out there.
Yeah, Grayson's going to regret that one. That was just not a good throw.
Everything's kind of quiet.
Well, the receiver is almost at the back of the end zone, and he threw the ball like the receiver. Boy.
So there's a penalty. There are 2 penalties against Tusculum after the interception.
Yep.
One's a chop block and one's a holding.
Watch. Now you're going to see the guy. You'll see the guy on the replay here, the guy in the end zone. The guy he's throwing to is in the back of the end zone. Well, wait a minute. We had it.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. He's in the back of the end zone. And Jason just, he kind of, he just kind of threw it like the guy was at the goal line, I mean, he underthrew him a good 5 yards. Makes me think that he was thinking the guy was going to come back flatter across the field. Well, the good thing is we still got 7:51 on the clock. If we get a 3 and out here, we're going to get decent field position. But we got to have a 3 and out. This is that drive that you can't give up 3 or 4 first downs right here with 7:51 on the clock.
So there were 2 penalties on the play, and the Bears took the 1 penalty. I believe the holding call or the block in the back. I'm not sure, but it's going to back them up inside the 10.
The one that hurt them the most.
Yes.
Let's see what they're going to do now.
They need to run the ball, right? You're Tusculum.
If they get a 4th and 1, I bet they.
There's a run. There's a keeper by the quarterback.
Yep. See that?
And a first down.
Completely fooled us because he's only done that twice all day. But see, when you've got a quarterback that can run, like Willingham, now they're not going to run him 50 times a game. They're not going to run him 10 times a game. But in that situation, great play call.
Play action. Wells being chased, and he throws it in traffic and caught by Ponder. Another first down.
Got a flag back here.
Might be a late hit on the Bears.
It could be. Somebody was chasing him.
A couple of their players with their helmets off, too. 70 is the one that has his helmet off.
Yeah, you got.
And he got called for holding.
And also you had a penalty on us for hands to the face. That might have been what caused the helmet to come off.
Okay. So nullifying penalties, first down again, the replay. Ball is at the 22. 7.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Championship at the South Atlantic Conference at stake. 28-23 in favor of the Pioneers. They'll spread out 3. He'll leave it off for a safety valve, and Bears try to strip it from him, and they bring him down. Tyler Ailero, redshirt freshman out of Tifton, Georgia, on the reception. That's a big pickup of about 9, or is that good enough for a first down? Close.
It's close, yeah. And again, that was just the play fake, and then he had plenty of time to throw, but the guy looked like he sat down out there and just waited, and finally he saw him.
This is Jones on the run.
First down.
Picks up the first down, tackled by John Ross May. Bear inside linebacker, along with Preston Joseph. Tusculum trying to snap Lenoir-Rhyne's long winning streak at home and in the South Atlantic Conference. 23 straight regular season games, 20 straight conference games. And win their first South Atlantic Conference championship in 2008. Back to pass. Bears bring some heat. And he'll find a man open, caught for the first down, steps out of bounds.
We brought pressure, and they picked it up. They did a great job of blocking again. They have really done a masterful job of blocking our stunts. And when they got him outside, then it's just a matter. He's going to find somebody. He's too good a quarterback not to find somebody.
They run it to Jones up the middle.
That's clock management there now. They're going to
into
run.
Bear
they
territory.
may run 2 out of every 3 plays now. We're down under 6 minutes going, they could even snap the ball here. It'd be right under 5 when they snap the ball on this one if they want to take their time. See that when the guys over there don't start their signals real quick, normally they're giving them signals right quick.
Yeah.
They're still snapping it pretty quick. They're going to snap it with about 10 seconds on the clock.
And they'll throw it.
Wow.
Finds a seam in the
3 of them.
Zone and caught. Again, Ivero is the man they targeted. No, that's Belanger. Big, tall tight end, 6'3" tight end. Belanger gets the first down into Bear territory at the 35.
I tell you what, they're really solid. I mean, they're good on defense. Their kicking game is not bad. We haven't seen anything spectacular, but we haven't seen any big mistakes except kickoff coverage a little bit. But they're a solid football team. Offense, defense, kicking game.
Quarterback makes a big difference.
Oh, absolutely, no question about that. He is the difference.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely no question about that.
That's Gamillion on the run. Maurice Gamillion.
I'm just wondering if there's going to be an all-conference team, a player of the year, and all that kind of thing. I think he's got at least one of those wrapped up.
Offensive player of the year or MVP, whatever they want to call it.
431 yards on passing today, 30 out of 47, 3 touchdowns.
And that's coming off a 600-plus yard passing performance against Limestone last week.
And his only competition is on the other side of the line. He's 20 of 34 for 328.
Yeah.
We just have had a hard time covering, have not been able to generate, a lot of pressure. And you can just watch this team right now, watch this kid operate. I mean, this is a good football team right here operating right now. Their offensive line has been dominant. I didn't think anybody would do that. But, boy, they're up front. They're really dominating today. This is a good football team.
They got 3 guys over there, the 300-pounders. Quarterback keeper. on first down.
Yeah.
And Wells will go for about 3.
That was a design keeper, too, because they pulled the 2 linemen out in front of him. The other 2 runs he had were reads, where he read it. That time it was a design run.
Rolling clock under 3 minutes now. 2nd down and 8. Bears got to settle. They got to make them kick a field goal right here.
Yeah, 8
or get a turnover.
8, they got a chance.
Or turnover. And then we might have, let's have a overtime thriller for the championship. Wells again get a little bit of a high snap and has to keep it, and they run it towards the middle of the field.
Yeah, he almost looked at what he intended to do was run it toward the middle of the field. Let's see if they're going to go field goal. See, if I were him, and what I'm thinking he may do is he may let the clock run down. He may run off. They haven't even started the play clock yet, have they?
Well, unless there's a timeout. So penalty goes against Tusculum. I didn't see a flag. Illegal formation, I believe, is what they said.
Didn't line up properly.
I didn't see a flag. Did you? I didn't. So anyway, 2nd and 13. They put some time back on the clock.
Interesting. Would you rather have 2nd and 13 or 3rd and 8? Right now with the time, the only reason I bring that up, the down may be important in that's another 30 seconds off the clock.
Yeah.
Now, we may call timeout right here. If we
they
hold
may be out of field goal range here, too.
Yeah, if we hold them right here on this down, we may get a timeout. Nope, here comes the flag.
There's a flag in the end zone.
It's going to be on us.
I mean, it's a 50-50 proposition. You're almost certain to dump it in the end zone like that. Throw it up there and see if you can get a flag.
You got it.
Or a spectacular catch, and it's going to go against the Bears. Freshman defensive back.
Yeah, and the guy over there that's standing by the flag, he didn't see the play. Where he was standing, he couldn't tell who was doing what. The guy from the inside made the call, and he was probably right.
You'll get no argument here. Chris Brown, apparently the culprit for the Bears, the left corner, the freshman out of King, North Carolina, and West Stokes High School. They got a couple guys from West Stokes.
Let's see what they do here. Now, this is an interesting situation. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Did they go for the quick score and take a chance on stopping the clock, or they could conceivably run a lot of the clock here and make us use all 3 of our timeouts?
There's a handoff running left.
Yeah, here's our first timeout.
Yeah, that penalty was pretty tough. That was difficult. So the Bears get a timeout here. We'll take a quick break, come right back. Stay with us. You're watching the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Back after this.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
All right, back here, the sun seems to have come out just a little bit between the clouds. The crowd that remains here, and it's been a pretty good crowd, even though with the chance of rain in the forecast. Overcast skies here. Trying to make some noise. 2nd down and 9. Wells will step the throw. Intercepted! He threw it right in the hands. And there we go down the sidelines. One man to beat.
Wells
knocks him out of bounds. Wells indeed. Percy King, his 4th interception, Jack, so far this spring. His dad played college ball at Ohio State with Mike Jacobs.
Wow.
He was in perfect. Watch this throw right there.
Unbelievable. I mean, I wasn't sure who he was throwing to. I'll tell you one thing. If he don't make the tackle, it's over. Wow. Wow.
Plenty of time. Bears at the 44.
Woo! Yeah. Got to wait now.
That's right.
Oh,
Percy
Lord.
King with his 4th interception.
Interesting. They're
Plenty
up
of
tight.
time.
They're not back too far. Let's see what kind of play we get here.
Throw it across the middle, and it is
no gain.
Caught to Lester. Yeah, they'll maybe give him a yard if they're being nice, and the clock will keep rolling. Bears have how many timeouts left?
Got two left.
2 left.
If I don't remember them using one. Now we're off. Well, no, we're all right.
2nd and 9. Grayson's got all kind of room, and he has a man open. Caught, first down. That's Young again.
Boy, he had all kinds of that was the kind of play we've seen already. He had all kinds of time right there, and he's going to find somebody. He's a good quarterback. When he's got time, he's going to find somebody.
The super seniors connect.
Well, and he also made the receiver. He told the receiver what to do. He said, "Sit down and go outside," and that's what he did. Get rid of it.
He throws it out of bounds this time.
That's all right. You got to do that.
Plenty of time. 1:11. 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 31. Willingham over 300 yards passing today.
Yeah. 353. You know, the thing about this is now their defense is starting to back. This is as deep as you've seen their safeties play the whole game. Okay.
Sneaker running back down the middle.
Well, you got to throw the ball underneath them right now. Boy,
intended across the middle, falls incomplete.
Yeah, that was a little chancy throw too, because he was two guys running with him. You can't afford to. You got to 2 more plays. You got to get the ball somewhere for a first down.
That's Parsons, the freshman. Kelly and Parsons. So it's 3rd and 10 now. 65 seconds left. Clock stopped. 2 timeouts and 2 plays here. Fires it across the middle, tipped away. He was looking in the middle of the field to Ryan Carter. Grayson pumped it a couple of times. And here we go, down to 1 play here, Jack.
I thought he might throw the out over here. He's had the out a couple times, but he didn't look that way. He was not looking toward it. And I think that's this is going to be a timeout. Yeah, they're gonna call timeout to set up anything they want to do defensively. But I thought he might go to the out cut over here. We've thrown the ball in the middle, 3 times there?
Yeah.
And it was they pretty well had us covered. There wasn't anybody running free in the middle. I thought he might go to the out cut over here because he had a guy that was somewhat open over here. Now it could have been after the play was over, the guy left him, but it looked like it was more one-on-one over here and a lot of crowd in the middle. I'd look for something simple. I wouldn't be surprised to see 3 receivers on this side of the field and hit the out cut. We need 11 yards. We don't have to have a touchdown. We got 2 timeouts. We need 11 yards.
Bears have been successful on some of those deep out routes here today.
Yeah. Even the scramble play. Now, they're going to try to keep him in the pocket. They're going to bring their rushers really wide and bring from outside in and make him step up in the pocket. So they don't want him to roll. But if he could roll out here, say, here's your 3 receivers. Let's see if we can hit an 11-yard pass here.
For the South Atlantic Conference Championship, LR trying to win their 3rd straight. Tusculum, their 1st in 13 years. Willingham across the middle. Let's see if there's a flag.
No, you're not going to get it there.
Incomplete. Intended over there to Jordan Payne. They had really good coverage, and Tusculum holds off LR on the pass across the middle.
They got to snap the ball, kneel down 2 times. Difficult. He was right on him. I mean, it could have been called. Nobody would have argued on this side if he'd been called, but it wasn't called. But he, I got to give credit to Tusculum defensive back there too. I don't know his number, but he was all over that route. When the time that ball was snapped, he was on that guy's back. And I don't think he had but one route in mind, because he didn't look. As soon as that ball was snapped and he caught it, he looked to that one place and threw the ball.
Was Payne the slot receiver? I believe he was.
He was the third.
The one on the furthest inside.
First inside receiver.
Here's the run to Jones. Bears will try to strip the ball.
I can't believe it. I would kneel down. All you got to do right here is kneel down twice. We got 2 timeouts, and then the second timeout, the game will be over.
So timeout. So Tusculum, unless we have another strange occurrence here, after the interception moments ago by Percy King, had the Bears in really great field position.
Well, the Bears have
the
had
defense for Tusculum. Give them credit.
You know, we've had every opportunity in the second half. How many times did we have the ball down inside the 30-yard line in the second half that we didn't get points on the board? You know, that's just the way we had 2 field goals in the second half. No, we had a touchdown we had a touchdown and a field goal in the second half.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've had every opportunity.
And missed 2-point conversion.
You know, we had it down the field a couple times in this quarter, a couple times early on, and we just didn't get much out of it.
Bears scored 14 points in the first half.
Yeah, they
led at one point, 14
we had
to 7.
Touchdown and a field goal.
Yeah.
And we had at least, I'm trying to think, we had at least 3 more opportunities where we could have had the ball in the end zone.
2nd and 5 out of the shotgun, and they run it.
Yeah.
Final timeout for the Bears.
It right here. And see, when it goes under,
they got to snap it one more time, right?
Yep. 25 seconds. That runs it down to 20.
So Tusculum will come to Moretz Stadium and win the first ever South Atlantic Conference championship game, snapping LR's 12-game winning streak at home here at Moretz Stadium. They've won 23 straight regular season games. I don't know if you can consider this regular season. Nothing's regular about it. And they have won 20 consecutive South Atlantic Conference games. All of that is on the line with 45 seconds left and Tusculum leading by 5.
Well, I understood this is going in the record book just like all the rest of it, so it counts.
And head coach Jerry Odom and his Tusculum Pioneers are going to come away with their 3rd championship in school history, adding on to what they won in 03 and 08.
Let's see if they run the quarterback keep right here. Now, they got a one-on-one out there if they wanted to throw it, but that wouldn't be the wise play.
That interception wasn't the wise play. This is the wise play. Take a knee. So they don't have to run another play, right?
31. Yep, it's going to run. I didn't get it exactly. We're going to find out. It's going to be real close.
Yep, that's going to do it.
Yep. That clock's slightly ahead of that clock. That was the smart thing to do right there. So have him run some time.
Yeah.
They needed to run a little time off the clock. That was a good call.
So congratulations to the Tusculum Pioneers.
And Dom Donnelly.
Yes, indeed.
Our buddy.
Former Lenoir-Rhyne Sports Information Director. Great guy. Has been there for a long, long time. And Tusculum, after losing their opener to a Newberry team and scored only 6 points, they come back and win 4 straight to close out this 2021 football season in the South Atlantic Conference, and they win the first ever South Atlantic Conference championship game, knocking off the Bears 28-23.
And they're taking the best of it, too.
But the crowd stayed here most of the game. In fact, I think even though they had the chance of rain, most of the crowd stood around here even though the rain left us, Jack, but they saw a really good football game for a championship game.
Yeah, it was a heck of a football game. The Bears, I was very impressed with the Bears' second half. We were never sharp, and we hung in there. The defense really rebounded. You know, Tusculum impressed me from start to finish. They got a little problem there. They made some mistakes that nobody expected. The interception there was just unbelievable when they threw the ball on fourth down and less than a yard, that kind of thing. But, overall, this was a heck of a football game for both teams. Both teams learn a lot. They're much more veteran than we are. I think our freshmen, this will help our freshmen a lot, especially our freshman defensive backs.
Yeah, and they'll be freshmen again next year.
Yeah, and they'll be covering these same guys. Because this is a heck of a good football team, and the transfers they brought in from Valdosta know how to win. And you could see in the Tusculum teams that we'd seen in the past maybe weren't quite like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this Tusculum team right here knows how to win, and I give all the credit to those veteran guys come in, and Coach Odom and the coaching staff, fantastic job.
So they're having a little celebration here, the presentation of the trophy to head coach Jerry Odom and his Tusculum Pioneers win the South Atlantic Conference Championship today. You want to run down a few of the stats for us, Jack, some of the main stats?
Yeah, and they
brought
earned
to you
it.
by McDonald's. Yes, they did.
They earned it. Rogan Wells, 31 of 49, 438 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Grayson Willingham for the Bears, 22 of 40, 353, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Rushing, T.J. Jones was the leading rusher for Tusculum, 13 carries, 63 yards, 4.8 average. Dwayne McGee, 25 rushes, 65 yards, 2.6 yard average. Not too good. Had a long run of 14 yards. Receiving, Derek Young caught 9 passes for 166 yards, 1 touchdown. Excellent day for Derek Young. Ryan Carter had some great kickoff returns. Ponder, they had receivers 7-6-5-5-5. They had a really good receiving core. Ponder was the leading receiver for them. Tony Ponder, 7 receptions for 123 yards. Kick returns, Ryan Carter, 3 returns for 132 yards. He had a great day on that, particularly on that kickoff return right before half. Percy King was the leading tackler for the Bears. He had 7 tackles and 2 assists. And the stat that probably told the game of the game, if you want one stat to tell the story of this game, the Bears had no sacks. Got no sacks.
I think they got 1.
Well, according to this, we got
Preston
none.
Joseph had a sack early in the game, I believe.
Wait a minute. Now, you may be right. Let me look here on here. This only shows the top 4. I got to go up here. I got to get to another stat column here. Hold on. Preston Joseph, he had 1 tackle for loss. And let's see if they called it a sack. They did call it a sack. He got a sack somewhere. That was it, 1 sack. And we probably had more than that in the first quarter of every.
Yeah, you're right.
But their offensive line did a fantastic job. They got the quarterback. They've got a good football team. They're really solid, and I thought they probably would be. We just didn't know anything about them because it's only been such a short season. But the Bears will be back. Tusculum will be back, and we'll get the opportunity to play them a game. And our guys know how tough it can be now.
Yeah.
The freshmen waltzed through. I think maybe that game last week may have hurt us a little bit.
Yep.
Wingate had been played up to be one of the best teams in the country, and just didn't look that way. And then Tusculum comes over here, and we don't know anything about them, and boom, they're the best football team we've seen in quite a while.
All right, so speaking of break, we'll take a quick final break, a 60-second break, and when we come back, we'll have our play of the game and player of the game right after this. Stay with us. You're watching the Bears.
Our decision as a conference last Thursday to cancel the spring season was not made lightly.
show it. They show receptions and yards.
Juju Phillips, Jack Huss, back with you this afternoon. Moretz Stadium as the Tusculum College Pioneers emerge victorious today. They win the South Atlantic Conference Championship game 28-23 over LR, snapping the Bears' long winning streak at home and long winning streak within the South Atlantic Conference as they come back. And Bears led this game at one point 14-7. It was a back-and-forth game. Tusculum took control in the second half and held off the Bears there in the final few minutes after a big turnover and interception by LR. Time now to give you our player and play of the game. Our play of the game being brought to you by K&L Dunright. A nice kickoff return late in the first half. And you can see what a great play by Ryan Carter. He almost returned it for a touchdown. It would have been the final play of the first half. Down inside the 10-yard line. Great effort by Ryan Carter on the special teams. The Bears have been really good on the special teams this spring. It just came up a little bit short, but nice long punt return or kick return by Ryan Carter.
And the player of the game for Tusculum is the linebacker, 5'10", 230-pound freshman from Sanford, Florida, number 33. I just watched that replay. He's the guy that made the tackle. If he doesn't keep hustling, if he gave up anywhere back up the field and doesn't keep hustling, he's in the end zone for a touchdown, and the game takes a totally different second half look than it did what happened out there. So.
And our Domino's player of the game goes to Derek Young. Derek Young, the super senior wide receiver out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Came back from injury earlier this spring, had a good game last week against Wingate, but had a finer game here this afternoon, Jack.
Yeah, Derek Young had 15. He was targeted 15 times, so they threw the ball in his area a lot. He had 9 receptions for 166 yards, ran 30 yards. I guess that's the yak, yards after catch. He got 30 yards. Had 1 TD with a long of 37. But the big three there, the Bears' returning receivers, Young, Lester, and Carter, all caught, 15, 20. They caught 28 passes in the ball game, and Grayson completed, how many did he complete? He completed 22. How did they catch 28? Oh, that's targets. I'm sorry. 9, 13, 6. They caught 16 of his 25 passes.
Yeah.
Those three guys right there. So that bodes well for next year. And this will, going into the season now, this is my team to beat. Tusculum looked pretty impressive to me. If they don't sit on their laurels and think, oh, well, we're pretty good now, the Bears have something to strive for during the offseason. That's one of the pluses you get sometimes when you lose a tough game. It gives you something to shoot for next year. And this team has got, everybody coming back. And they're going to be tough. Carson Newman's always tough. We know Wingate will be better. The Bears will be better. It's going to be a heck of a year in the SAC come next fall.
And what's better about it, too, the fall is going to be here shorter than it normally is.
Yeah,
usually it's a 10-month wait or 8-month wait. It's going to be a short 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, and if things continue to improve with the COVID and all those things, we'll be having full stadiums here. Whether that makes a difference or it doesn't, the players know how many people are in the stadium, and they really like it when it's full, like they've seen, when they came here as recruits, when they saw what it's like here at Lenoir-Rhyne on a Saturday afternoon when we're playing football.
Well, it's been fun once again, partner. It was
Always.
a short season, but it was very fun, and hopefully we'll get to do it again very soon, starting in September.
Well, and it's great, too. I mean, the Bears got a lot to look forward to. I mean, it's been great to win this football game, but, we didn't have it today in the fourth quarter and late in the third, and we had some opportunities. We just couldn't take advantage, but, boy, are those things that are going to help us next year. And this football team will be back. Everybody coming back, a veteran quarterback, veteran receivers, the offensive line will be better. Everything about it. All this was better than any spring practice could ever be for the Bears. So we'll look forward to it next year, and I look forward to seeing you next year.
And for our entire crew, Danny, Philip, great job once again on the replay and the camera work, and all the crew putting this broadcast together. It's been very enjoyable to do it this spring. We'll join you again, hopefully, coming up in September when the Bears kick off the 2021 season. But today, the Tusculum Pioneers have been crowned South Atlantic Conference champions, beating the Bears 28-23. For my broadcast partner, Jack Huss, I'm Juju Phillips saying thanks a lot for watching. And until next time, so long, everyone. This has been the Bears Sports Network, all season long being brought to you by MBA Roofing.